Welcome, everybody.
Is it? Are we going? Are we good? Cool.
Was that not a good cue? I thought that was quite clear from Jojo.
I thought it was probably a fairly good cue. Anyway, hello everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to D&D. Let's really quickly go through the recap so that we can get this shit on the road. So last session, you spoke to, you finished your travel to the capital. In the capital, you spoke to Councilman Hamish, a very quite jolly man, the councilman of arts and culture, and he basically told you that, yeah, the tower's being taken care of, just some wizard being weird or whatever. And then all of a sudden, bam, a soldier comes in telling you guys that the tower is not being taken care of, and the only people that can solve the tower are the Guardians. No one else knows who they are. You guys very obviously do know who they are. That's you. You then left after having some confusion as to who or where the king actually is, King Jonah, and after arranging a meeting with Councilman Ivan for 2 days' time. After that, you went and investigated the Church of Mars after Oramis was given a note on his entrance to the city telling him to go there. I also forgot to mention that before that, he went and had baths, which was very, very nice. You went to the Church of Mars and faced 3 of the Talons in there who were interrogating someone, trying to find out where Moraine is, and a new other divination wizard that they'd heard of with bald head, green robes, and was very obviously Gylndan. The bard told them everything he knew, but you guys managed to storm in there, hypnotic pattern them, stop them from doing all that, and they led you down to their boss, the Great Talon, through the catacombs that are underneath the capital. You went there, and he basically told you that you have 2 days to solve the murder, to solve all this. Otherwise, I'm going to, I will never stop coming after your girlfriend and you and any other divination wizards I can find. So you set off, trying to figure out some of the stuff. It led you to a half-orc blacksmith first, who Dokrumir had some fun chatting to. It led you to a quite fancy cafe, Juliana's Cafe, where Oramis caused a bit of trouble. And finally to a lord of the capital, Lord Partridge's house, who you learned of a plot basically where the first Talon, so the Great Talon second in command, wanted to marry Lord Partridge's daughter. However, Lord Partridge said, no, you can't unless you tell me all the secrets of the Talons, where the Talons are hiding, who the Great Talon is, his strengths, his weaknesses. And he did. But Mr. Partridge stabbed him in the back a little bit and said, nope, you ain't marrying my daughter, you murderer, and told him to hit the road, sent his daughter away, and it seemed as if he had a wizard working with him, which is why you're here. You came to the after this. You came to the Wizards College, where you met with the dean, the Archmage Professor Rast. Pretty cool guy. You told him that you were. Thanks, Sam. Come up with it myself. You talked to him and basically found out that a Professor Terwin, an illusionist professor for younger mages, was a bit of a rapscallion. He is the one who. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was terrifying. He was the one.
Such good music for that. He's a bit of a rapscallion.
He had been working with the first Talon potentially through all of this. You went and confronted him in his office after he'd been performing some kind of incantation to turn his office into some kind of jungle. But upon approaching him, placing the dagger down on the table, he stopped the incantation. He looked up at you. You told him, he asked who you were, you told him, and he cast, what did he cast on you? That spell, which name I've forgotten. Hypnotic pattern. I keep thinking it's hallucinatory pattern, but it's not. Hypnotic pattern. Thank you very much. 2 of you failed, Dokrumir and Mazzarious. You failed. You are now charmed and incapacitated. Therefore, you cannot take actions or reactions. An action must be used to wake you. I actually need to cross off a 3rd level spell for him because he cast that. Oramis and Gylndan, you are still up. We'll go into initiative straight off the bat. because that's how a session starts. Alright, I'm gonna roll my dice.
Dear.
Whichever one rolls the lowest.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I mean, I'm hypnotized, so it makes sense.
Alright, that one rolled a 4. That one rolled a 5. Not looking good for any of the dice today. And that one rolled a 3. It's these dice today. Interesting.
Oh, I sat down to DM on Tuesday, and then we did a fair bit of talking, and then I went, "Where are my dice?" Because I'd forgotten to pick them up.
Where's my super suit?
Honey,
Where is my super suit? Alright, so the initiative
do
order.
you need it?
I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get.
So the initiative order goes Gylndan, Mazzy, Terwin, Oramis,
PG, Professor Turner.
Doc. Gylndan, take it away.
I'd like to open proceedings by apologising. I really should have counterspelled when he hit that hypnotic pattern, but I didn't even think.
Took you by
It did take me by surprise, but as in not like I was acting like it took me by surprise. It actually took me by surprise. So well done, Ben.
The ultimate RP when it affects you in real life.
Yeah. So I would know that hypnotic pattern's concentration. So I know if we slap this guy some, it's going to get Mazzy and Doc out of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
Also, by the way, for this fight specifically, if you're going to hit him, tell me you're going to hit him before you roll to hit him.
oh, I don't like that.
Hang on, so tell me if we're attacking him. Tell you
Yes,
if we're
if you're
attacking
going to attack him with a spell or a melee weapon or a ranged weapon or whatever, just say, I'm going to hit him, and then I will say when and where roll, because he might do something before or after or whatever.
Fantastic.
Wizards are weird.
Like fun.
It does, indeed.
Right, so I'll go around the desk.
Uh-huh.
Ain't nobody got time to vault that thing. And I will hit him with my staff.
You will hit him with your staff.
Well, I will attempt to.
He ain't going to do anything.
Do you want me to roll?
Hit. Yep, rolled it.
All right, Ben, you can't talk that up and then he's not going to do anything.
I absolutely
that's
can
awful.
when you roll like that.
Yeah.
So
Anything
I've
else?
missed.
What is it? Dragon head staff, by the way.
That was when I got it made out of dwarven ingots.
changed it to a nice dragon head.
I did show you when you came for the old heist, but you were too busy floating your boat. So that's cool.
Oh yes.
His boat's bigger, in fairness.
It is, but mine's had more exposure so far and been more useful. That's me done for that round, Ben.
All right. In that case, God, Mazzy, you are incapacitated. You cannot take actions or reactions. What would you like to do? Yes, unfortunately, to wake Mazzy or Doc, it is an action to wake them up, or if they take damage as well, they will be woken up. So there's two ways of doing it.
Can you slap me in the face?
Yeah, hit him. Hit one of them.
Yeah.
Cast fireball.
That will get us
could.
Get us out of the hole and maybe put us in a bigger one.
What's he going to do? Okay, not being a man. Well, actually, that's Mazzy's turn over, I guess. It's now Professor Terwin's turn. He picks up his wand. As you can see, it's this quite nicely crafted wand made of like birch, sort of birch thing. It has a very, very clear handle, but it's fairly plain, realistically. But it has like a lot of like engravings on the handle, swirling down and down. He picks it up, and he's going to cast an incantation, which I need to cross off. And with this, you begin to see a sort of arcane breastplate form over his front, as well as pauldrons, a helmet, and greaves on his legs. They appear for a moment just like a flash, and then slowly sort of dissipate. And as he does this, not being a man particularly thing for martial combat, as it were, he's going to run away. 5, 10, 15.
Attackable opportunity.
Yeah, do I get to slap him?
Would Oramis get attack of opportunity as he passed Oramis?
He would indeed.
Yeah.
Roll me attack of opportunity.
Guessing he's given himself quite a high AC though.
Find out. Roll to hit. One of you. That fails, unfortunately, Sam.
Yeah.
And Oramis.
1 sec, what will I find?
That also fails.
What did you roll?
I've got a higher AC than you. I got 13.
Yeah. Well, I imagine. I mean, shield gives +5, so it could give something like that. So he might be up in the high teens.
He has done that, and then as
I think I know what this stuff is.
and then as a
Would
bonus
not
action,
know it.
No.
There we go then.
Gylndan, you might know it. You could obviously make like an Arcana check to see if you knew it, or just sort of base it off what I've told you and have a guess. And I think as a bonus action, yes, as a bonus action, again he sort of flicks his wand, and you begin to see within the sort of 5 foot space that he's in, not like going all around the room, but you just begin to see his form shake, just like he appears like a few inches just like left and right and forward and back and left and right and forward and back and left and right and forward and back, just constantly sort of shaking and twisting and just not being quite there, as if he'd sort of displaced himself, created some sort of illusion of displacement out of sort of reality, as it were. And that will be his turn. That will be all Professor Terwin can do. Yeah. Next up, we have Oramis.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, before you go, forgot to mention one thing. He will sort of turn to you as he does this, and in this sort of displaced thing, you can just see him stood there, and he points his wand towards you all. He says, "Please, look, I don't want to hurt any of you. Just give me the dagger. Leave this place. You're not a part of this. Just please, you'd be doing yourself a favor. I really don't want to hurt any of you."
That's some bullshit.
I mean, he is running like a little pussy-hole, but...
Well, if there's a cartwheel.
I would like to Shadow Blade, not Shadow Blade, try and attack him with my Hidden Blade.
Alrighty, roll to hit with disadvantage.
I'm getting that. 1 second.
Oh, that's not in, is it?
Unfortunately, once again, that doesn't hit. As you sort of swing at him, and you think you're about to get him, but then like you think you're about to swipe at him, but it's actually one of these sort of displaced images of him, and you just swipe through it suddenly, and there is nothing. There is just nothing there.
Okay. I'm going to take the risk then of an attackable opportunity and try and wake Mazzy.
All right. Unfortunately, the only melee attack he sort of has is a punch. So.
Oh no!
What a shame.
That's a 7 minus 1. That's a 6. Assuming that doesn't hit.
No.
All right then. It's a full action to wake Mazzy.
Yep, that's fine.
Oh yeah. You use your gun.
So Shadow Blade is a. Not
Yep,
Shadow Blade, hidden concealed.
Yeah, you walk
thingy.
up to Mazzy, shaking him awake. Mazzy is suddenly sort of full of vigor again. He sort of snaps out of the thing. All these colors sort of in his eyes begin to fade, and he realizes the room he's in. Termin has moved behind him. You're probably quite aware of this now, Mazzy. Yeah, you're officially awake. Doc.
Oh, what I miss. Phew.
Doc, it is your turn.
No, it's not.
What would you like to do? Nothing. We go back to Gylndan.
Oh, that was harsh.
I'm sorry. That was mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right up here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch him, and I'm gonna cast a little curse. That every time he's got to make a throw at the beginning of each turn. If he fails it, he wastes his action doing nothing.
Counter spell.
I don't like this.
You place your hand upon his shoulder, beginning to cite the incantation for the curse, and he places his hand upon your hand and sort of like pushes, like sort of claws it off, inciting his own sort of incantation, and you can just feel the magic from your hand dissipates away.
I mean, the only good thing about that is at least he's used the level 3 spell slot.
That is a very good point.
So I'll stare at him. He's powerful. Respect. Give him the stare of respect.
I like the idea that Sam's put his hand on his shoulder and started doing this thing, and he's just picked up his hand and just been like, no.
Pretty much. Just, no.
He's not done anything, but he's cast counter spells, so my hand's just on his shoulder, and it just looks like we're having a warm sort of moment.
Now listen here, son.
All right. Is that everything, Sam?
I'll just say to him in what can I say in 6 seconds? I'll say, we just want some answers. Let's not do this the hard way. That counts.
Okay. Mazzy, it's your turn. You are now fully awake.
Mm.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to go over here. Skadoosh.
Yes.
And because I've only just been awake, I didn't really catch what Sam said or what the guy said before, so I didn't know he's friendly. So I'm going to go out and attack him.
Oh, he's not.
Well, not friendly.
I feel like there's a certain amount of choice there. I don't know he's friendly. Shoot him.
Roll the hit.
Hunter's mark first, obviously, on him.
Yep. Hunter's mark on him. Roll to hit. Disadvantage still hits. Roll damage.
Oh, of course, that's the Mazzy way, isn't
it? Just flicks around. Bang.
I've got Doc back.
10. Damn,
Not
alright.
necessarily.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Are you going to attack again? Or...
So you got to do a con save for his concentration spell.
Yes, of course he does. For his hypnotic pattern against Doc, he rolls... What's the DC for...
10.
It's 10? Oh, he passes. Easy.
It's 10 or half damage, whichever is more. So you only have to worry about it if the damage is over 20.
Can he do his armor, Ben, or is his armor spell not concentration?
Also, I don't know, but I'm asking a question. Is Hunter's Mark damage separate, or is it on top of the armor? Like, is it like
I believe
7
it's on
piercing
top.
damage, then like 3 magical damage?
I believe it's that. Yeah. So it's.
Well, he's not exactly firing another arrow.
I sort of see it as all. I think it's all in one.
Okay.
So it just
you
adds to the
magically
damage that
view
you.
your attack.
Yeah, pretty much. That's sort of how I would see it.
Does
Anyway.
Hunter's Mark have a damage type? I guess that's the question.
I don't believe so. Do I?
I don't know. I'm just wondering whether he has to make 2
No, I
saves.
don't believe so.
Until it's
Don't think it
fun,
says
you
anything
can. You can deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack.
Okay.
Yeah. Although, take note, Matt, that it is a concentration spell, so if you get hit, you have to
cast it again. That's fine.
Well, just make a con save to see whether it...
Yeah.
Is that everything, Matt? Or
I go again. I go again.
Go again.
I go better than before.
Who even cares? You've beat his AC by over 10. That's even with disadvantage. That's
so it's AC
insane.
16. Cheers, Ben.
Or is it 16, sir?
Or he could be lying. Could be lying.
By over.
Could be an illusion.
Do we even know if he's here? Has he got astral projection?
Yeah. He's Luke Skywalker the shit out of this.
Right. Have I got my dock back?
Oh, yes, you'll have to make the save again. Yeah, he passed again. You don't have your dock back, I'm afraid.
Yucky.
I've tried, JJ, I'm sorry.
I haven't tried that hard, have you? could have taken the action to wake me up, but nah.
Not going to try again. I mean, I'm not good at that. I'm good at firing and getting and rolling high and injuring people.
That is true. You are good at those things.
Anything else, Matt?
Thank you very much. Magic pudding. Thank you, Jill.
Jill.
This is magic pudding, lads.
Excellent. We're going to need it.
Don't counterspell it away from me, Ben. I just want to eat it, please. Thank you.
Don't plan on it.
Cheers.
All right. Is that everything, Mazzy, or are you moving on?
That is everything.
Cool.
That's enough. That's quite a good turn.
That is quite a good turn, to be fair. All right. Here's what he's going to do. Once again, you begin to see him sort of wave his wand about, saying some strange incantation or another, and that's it.
Don't like this guy. Can you bring back the goblins?
Lord, I would love to. Goblins are funny.
I like it. This is different. It's good.
I'm trying to find. I hope this works. Also, I accidentally clicked fucking Maya on my computer. That's going to take a long while to do. All right, and then hold on, just. Okay. That's his turn. We move then on to Oramis.
With sneak attack, I would like to try and hit him with the concealed blade.
Okie dokie. You no longer have to roll with disadvantage as you see these, see this sort of displacement sort of thing begin to slow and stop by the time it gets to your turn. He seems to be fixed in one place, wand sort of out at the ready, still waiting for an attack. Rolled hit. You do not hit. I must also say, Doc, as the light as he cast this spell or whatever just before. I'm sorry, I didn't mention this before. Suddenly, you're awake. You are back. You are back awake once more.
Okay.
Don't like that he's chosen to get rid of that. That means he's comfortable with it.
He's seen our attempts to hit him, and he's
anything else, Aramis?
The old Shadow Blade is going to have a swing. Sorry, I should have let you finish. Oh my goodness!
Unguess. Unfortunately, that too misses. Too confused by all the displacement stuff. Still trying to figure out whether they're there. You're sort of poking around his space, trying to find the real him. Even though the displacement's gone, you don't quite believe it in and of yourself.
Actually, role playing this very accurately. by making these rolls badly.
Exactly.
It's in
exactly.
character.
It's in character. Is that everything, Oramis?
As Doc is now awake, that is, yeah.
Doc, you're up.
Alright, I'll just move over here. And I'm going to cast a spell on him.
Okay.
Hold.
What spell?
Hold person.
Your spell fails.
Oh.
As you cast Hold Person on him, how do you imagine sort of Hold Person looking? Or is it just like just grab the person, or like what?
Well, just sort of, I don't know, almost make like a grasping motion in the air, like raise one hand as if I'm going to grab something, and then utter the magic words for stand still.
So you sort of say this incantation, you reach out, but when you reach out to that space, nothing is there. You see him there, but in magic, he is not there. Your magic doesn't recognize that he himself is stood there. He doesn't care. He's still stood perfectly still, awaiting an attack. Hasn't moved.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to move up towards the door then.
Alrighty.
That'll be all for now.
Alright. Sorry to make you waste your spell like that. This is quite fun.
Why does he get an apology and I didn't?
Because...
Well, I haven't been, from what he said, I haven't been counterspelled.
You've not been counterspelled.
So...
He's not.
You don't
just
feel the
playing,
effects of counterspell. It's just
maybe it's that thing he cast.
Work.
Yeah, that thing he cast. Maybe he's not really. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out with Gylndan on your turn.
Yeah. Does this little dick have shield? I think the answer is yes. Because it's only a first level spot, it's very useful to have. So let's not use magic
Ben's
missile.
made him.
Yeah, Ben's made him. He'll have shield. So that's off the table. But we don't get disadvantage on melee hits anymore, do we?
You don't.
Well, I'll slip here and get some advantage then.
All right.
I'll hit with my staff.
Hit him with your staff. You prepare your staff in the air, thinking through all this stuff. Like, well, he's a professor. He knows quite high level spells. So magic missile is out. So you just decide to go whack him with your staff. You swing your staff directly for his gut. It swipes through the air. He still stands there, ready for an attack. And your staff swipes straight through his stomach.
Fuck's sake.
Is he not on this plane?
It appears Professor Terwin, though the image of him still stands, and it is still there even after you swing for him. It's still there, still stood, just like. But it doesn't move. Doesn't even react to being sort of swiped through.
Can I, after that, just as like a bonus, can I then just sort of move my hand and see if it just goes through him?
Yeah. Your hand goes straight through him.
So he's not here anymore.
Appears not. It doesn't even react to your hand coming forward. By the way, it's still just like
he's done a bamboozle on us.
I imagine that's what that spell was that he sacrificed Hypnotic Pattern for. I don't think he's here anymore. He was trying to get away. I mean, he could quite likely have invisibility as well, so he could just have to decoy himself. I think we're going to have to go looking for him. What a headache.
Appears so.
Question is, are we out of combat?
No, still in initiative. If you want to sort of look for him, you can make things like perception checks, investigation checks, that kind of thing. See if you can sort of
I think he's still
hear
around.
him,
Who knows?
or some kind of arcana check to see if you might recognize the spell or whatever. But that'll be up to you guys on your turn. Oramis, why are you moving?
Oh, sorry. It's not my turn, is it?
It's not your turn, unfortunately. It's Mazzy's turn.
That's a good point.
What would you like to do?
I don't
Mazzy.
know.
Search through your
Search
magic
your
knowledge.
feelings, you know it to be true.
What spells do I have? I swear I have something that could help. No. I generally don't know what to do. Because I don't have anything that can help search.
Hunter's mark.
You could just do.
I can't search someone.
Read it properly.
Oh, for Christ, okay.
I think I believe there are additional benefits other than just extra damage.
I believe you have advantage to try and find them or track them.
You have an advantage on a wisdom perception or wisdom survival check you make to find it. Okay, so will that help in this instance?
What did you say? Sorry, I didn't.
Perception, wisdom perception, or wisdom survival checks.
Wisdom perception check would. If you think he's gone invisible, you can make a perception check to try and hear him, to try and sort of.
I will try and see
think
if he's
as to
still in the room.
where he might be. You know, like how sometimes you just have that feeling that someone's near you. That's sort of what I'm thinking. So
Do I have to do anything to?
I've run out of
It
lubricant.
says you have advantage, don't it? Okay.
you have advantage. Yes.
On perception.
Does he have disadvantage though if he's potentially invisible?
I don't think it really matters.
This goes beyond sight, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So I'd probably say then it sort of evens out to a regular roll.
Well, yeah.
It's a shit roll.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
I think with a 10 perception, you can maybe. Well, you can grasp that. Okay, so in the time that this has happened, you guys have attacked. You've been near and around this place. Doc has moved over to the door, and he hasn't said that he's heard anything. At the same time, you haven't heard or seen the door open and close. So, to the best of your ability, you can make the assumption he's somewhere here.
You're still here, lads.
Are we in a different? Have we been transported somewhere?
God knows.
Oh, this is like fighting. Is it Mysterio from
Yeah.
Far From Home?
Yeah.
I hate it.
Is that the end of your turn, Mazzy, or is there anything else you wanted to do? You can just like swing at the air around you if you really wanted to.
Whip out my big sword and just do a pirouette. No. I'm actually, how far is it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, I can't quite get to the door. I was going to just check if we haven't been like locked in or anything. But I can't get to the door, and that's as far as I can go. So.
Fair enough. Is that everything?
Yep.
Okie dokie. I need to look something up.
I don't like the evil laugh.
No.
Okay. Where's that one? There. So I believe on his turn. Okay. So on his turn, he's going to do this. And upon getting closer inspection of one of you, very close inspection of one of you,
Breathing down the back of your neck.
Mazzy.
What's that?
Is he going to do this? Is he going to waste that?
He's going to touch you.
I don't like being touched.
Mazzy, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
With Hunter's Mark, I get advantage on wisdom saving throws, I think, don't I? Did I read
Advantage on
that
wisdom
correctly?
saving throws.
Wisdom survival.
That's different.
Wisdom survival checks. Yeah, it's a different thing.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
No, I didn't survive.
I am going to take.
Nice to end you, Mazzy.
Yeah, I was.
That.
Say, guys, have a good session.
Professor Turtle
Found him.
appears over here. And Mazzy, you suddenly feel as if you can't move. You are not able to do anything. You can't even, you can barely even think for yourself without anything happening. And you are going to move here.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And, because this is going to be
The
fun.
only person in our party who docks high AC is not actually that worthwhile against.
I want Ben to roll the
let's
attacks
have
for
a look at
Matty. Oh, for
that
fuck's
hits,
sake.
doesn't it, JJ?
Yeah, that fucking hits.
Could you
Oh,
take 6 damage from me, please?
That is all right on the damage front, my lord. You rolled a 2 on a D12.
Oh, I quite like this. I could have made that so much worse, by the way. I could have. Oh my god! But I.
Worse?
You coward.
I've. Oh. All right, fine. All right.
Ben, we want to
Please
die.
remember it was only Doc that said that, Ben. Yeah.
I believe that's all he can do, and he hasn't cast. It's not an illusion spell, so he doesn't get that back. Yep, that's all he can do. He will stand there, sort of with his sort of wand. You can see it pointed towards Mazzy, like twisting around. You can almost see this sort of glint in his eyes of this magical energy. That what Mazzy's doing is very clearly not. The actions he's taking clearly aren't his, as he has just swung for
Really
Doc's
wanted to
face.
attack Doc.
We go next in the list to Oramis.
Look, if I have to kill Mazzy, I'll gladly do so.
I'm glad you thought about that before you said it and didn't just come straight out with it.
hang on. From where I am, will try and fire off a shot with my hand crossbow.
At who? At him or at Mazzy?
For now, at him.
Okie dokie.
You got the range on it upgraded, didn't you?
Range and damage, yeah. Oh, for God's sake!
That does not
Are you
hit.
joking me?
So sort of confused by the fact that Mazzy has now attacked Doc. You raise up your thing ready to attack him. You're like, wait, what? Chunk. And it just flies straight by as he doesn't even look towards your arrow. He's still focused so hard on controlling this thing. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, 5.
Oh, and by the way, I need to get rid of this.
20, 25,
That's not gone.
30.
Huh?
Hang on. Gonna move to there.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Doc. You are up,
Question
sir.
is, can he take Mazzy's reactions?
Absolutely.
That's a very good question.
Let's find out. them.
Excellent. All right, that was some good reading. So you're moving up to him, yeah?
Yeah.
That hits, right?
Oh!
The 25, yeah.
That's 9
Oh
damage.
no, that's hard.
9 damage, I'm afraid.
You really picked the right person to control, didn't you, Ben?
Oh, I certainly did.
Oh,
Out of everyone who's been attacking him,
I'm the only
I
one
was
who's
going to pick the
actually-
person who did the highest damage to him.
I've
So far,
technically,
unfortunately,
Mazzy,
that was you.
yeah, Mazzy, me or you, have rolled 4 times, and each time has been over 20. Everybody else has failed every single roll.
Mazzy's been
I
on
technically
point
haven't rolled yet. Except my initiative roll, which was a 1.
We'll count that as a fail. That's
Yeah.
a pretty bad fail.
Yeah. Right. Seeing as he's controlling Mazzy, and I really want to get him, I'm going to use my inspiration and try and hit him with an inflict wounds.
Hit him with an inflict wounds. It's a melee sort of
Yeah.
hand thing, isn't it? All right,
Yeah.
go for it.
It's a 24 to hit.
Yep, hits. Roll the damage.
Oh
That is
my lord.
36 damage.
30 fucking hell. All right. Jesus. Oh god.
He's dead.
He must
Finished.
be dead. He must be
He's
close.
not going to be dead off that.
He's a wizard. They're little bitch boys.
Hold on.
Oh, I will
36.
murder you in your sleep.
I mean, this is supposed to be non-lethal as well.
36.
I'm just sucking the life out of him until
I
he's unconscious,
don't-
not dead.
Really, don't fall with on non-lethal inflict wounds. Just doesn't seem
Yeah.
quite right, does
It
it?
doesn't. It doesn't sound like it should work that way, but it does.
Inflict some wounds, but not
strange.
too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Not. It's like inflict some wounds, but more like bruises than actual scars.
If the little bitch boy wizard looks like he can't take it, I'll stop.
Oh, how you will wish you never said those words.
Well, listen, he can take it, so he's going to fucking take it.
He can indeed take it. You place your hand upon him, and these sort of scars begin to go over his body. He needs to roll concentration. Oh my lord,
What?
Matt! Congratulations. You have control of yourself again.
Yeah, that's why I did it at level 3 as well, because I was like, that's going to make the check really hard.
You have control of yourself once more. This sort of energy dissipates from your eyes. You stand there holding your dual sword, like, wait, what?
why is there blood on the end of this?
Yeah, why is
Why is
there
Doc
blood
also
on the end of this
bleeding?
and splattered on the floor? Why is Doc bleeding? Why is he over there? What? Oh my God, Towen's over there. What the hell's going on?
Why
I'm
would
really
I
glad you
ever
didn't
put my
counterspell
bow away?
that.
He can't.
Yeah.
He couldn't. While in that thing, as he'd used his reaction.
Ah.
Is that everything, Doc?
Yes, that is everything.
Cool, Glyndon, you're up.
I've got an attack idea, but it might do damage to you, Doc.
Go for it.
You've got to pass a dex save. Okay, right. Well, I've got your word. That's cool. no, can't go back. That's cool.
I'm
Do
not.
we
I'm
even need
not.
to ask what attack it is?
No, I'm not fireballing. Look, Ben. I've a serious respect for this institution. I will not fireball in a classroom.
All right.
There is no
Gonna
fireballing in this classroom.
Gonna ice knife.
Ooh.
Gonna ice knife. All right.
Yeah.
Roll to hit with the ice knife.
Roll ice knife. I might do it at level 2 for the banter. I'll just double check what you add to it as a level 2.
All the damage.
It's just because it does damage in 2 stages. Only when you cast it in a higher level slot, only adds damage to the extra stage. So if I cast it in a higher level slot, that the bit that does higher damage is the bit that might also do damage to you. So I don't know whether to do that or not.
I won't tell you what to do.
It could finish him. That's the thing.
Right.
Or could it?
For the shits and giggles, I'll cast it at level 2.
Roll to hit first.
Yeah, that's important. Bum, ba, bum.
Oh, no.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I don't think. Oh, I don't know actually. All right, whatever. Let's just deal with this slowly.
I'm loving this.
Oh my lord.
So I'll roll. Why are there 2 attacks?
Because it's the extra one, I'm guessing.
So it's your.
One is 1d10 and one is 2d6.
Oh, so the D10 is damage to him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the second one is damage to him if he fails a dex save, and damage to JJ if JJ fails a dex save. I wouldn't roll for him, Ben, because he's definitely going to fail that dex save. With a good old 3.
With a
Is
good
it
old
half
3.
damage on save or is it no
Excellent.
damage on save?
What it says in the spell thing, it just says if you fail it, you take it. There's nothing about half damage,
Okay, so
which
I
is
succeed.
normally. Yeah, so I'm really hoping you succeed, JJ.
Let's go. Got a +3 to dex saves. No!
No.
Oh. So
the-
JJ takes 16 damage,
Yeah.
and he takes 21.
Jesus. How much damage have you taken?
Oh no, hang on,
God.
it's more.
God.
Sorry, it's more. I've got to roll another D. It's 3d6 because I cast it at level 2, so I've got to roll another d6 and add that.
Yeah.
So JJ takes 18 damage,
Excellent.
and he takes 24.
Your ice knife shoots from the end of your staff,
Haha.
pierces into his side. He seems somewhat steady as it pierces into his side, but then it explodes with this sort of cold energy all around him. And as it explodes, he sort of like flies backwards, landing hard on the floor. He did.
Non-lethal.
Spare the dying.
Yeah, how do you non-lethal an ice shard into someone's side that then pops?
Well, I guess you could say like it went into his leg or something like that, you know, somewhere.
The legs are not. You can do a lot of damage in the leg.
I mean, if it hits an
Put ice on the
artery
wound
in
and
the
therefore
leg,
everything is fine.
Yes. So he is currently down.
How are you doing, Doc?
Oh, I'm
He's
fine.
not dead. He'll be making. Will he make dex saves already? Will he make death saves or will he be dead?
That is entirely up to you as the DM, man.
Ooh. I mean. If he makes. I'll probably just. You did mean to say non lethal, so I'll say he's down. Because I probably would have made him roll death saves, but then Doc would just cast Spare the Dying on him and the whole. Save us from that whole thing.
He's also our only lead in this case, so if you kill him,
He
this
might have a
arc's
paper
over.
trail. We don't know.
It could be. It's all
He is
illusion,
unconscious. He is unconscious. Very nice work, gentlemen. You took out an illusionist professor. Good job. He is unconscious, lying there on the ground. You can see cuts and scars over his body. You see sort of the impact of the cold of the ice knife and the explosion has sort of like begun to freeze over a section of his body. He is pretty hurt, lying there, sort of just unconscious. Like his wand is out of his hands, just a little ways away from him. What would you like to do?
Do we want to have a chat with him here, or do we want to talk to the?
take him to the boat.
I'd like to get him off the college because then it's not Rast's issue.
I was going to say, do we want to get Rast in on this? As is
No, I don't.
We're just going to take him out of here.
Yeah, well, it's. I know he's like an employee of the college, but also the stuff he's doing is outside of it, and it's also just our issue. So we'll just take it out of Rast's hands, I think.
Okay.
We just need some answers from
I
him.
will defer to Gylndan on this, as he knows the college well.
Anyone
get to
else
the
want to do
boat.
anything? Anyone want to do anything? Finally, in this room, there is his
Yeah, I
desk,
wanna kind
sort of here. There is doorway outside. Just has like a hallway. That's the hallway you came in from.
Does anyone else take a hit in that? What's it just me?
No.
Alright. I'm gonna cast a real quick cure wounds on myself. Just
Boy,
to...
We got a little lucky with the. I think we did over 50 damage in 2 hits there.
yeah, that was insane. I was kind of thinking. I was thinking about what he would do next turn, and then all of a sudden,
There
he
is
had
no
control
turn.
of Mazzy.
just destroyed.
I wasn't letting that go.
that is fair.
Are we taking? Are we searching his desk and then taking him to the boat?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll be unconscious for a little while, I suppose.
An 11 investigation and a 14 investigation.
Can I,
You're looking.
Can I nab his wand? Just just so he can't grab it again. Just stick that in a pocket or something.
Yeah. Just to add
What is-
illusionist's wand
just
to your.
In your world, Ben, what is a wand like? Is it like a device that sort of amplifies magic, or does he need it to cast magic?
It's the same as your staff. So it's just a tool that he uses. So instead of making the hand gestures, all he needs to do is sort of flick his wand in a certain way.
All right.
Okay, so it's not
so he still needs to do stuff with his hand,
So
but it's not
a wand of magic missile, a wand of fireball.
Yeah, no,
Which
it is
more
just the
traditional
thing
thing.
that
Okay.
he.
It's
Yeah,
just
it is
flavour.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool. Well,
more just
I'll
flavour.
keep his wand off him then. I'll just put it in a pocket.
There are wands like that, so obviously wand of fireball, wand of magic missile, that kind of thing. But this one, he's cast a variation of spells with it, so you can probably just assume that it's just his wand that he uses.
Yeah.
14 investigation. Rifling through his desk, you see a lot of random papers, students, things he's been meaning to assess, letters from students or letters to students or whatever. But at the very, very back, you see a lockbox, a small little chest, probably about this big, completely made of metal, with a big lock on the front of it.
That all
What do I
right?
do?
Shall I do that on the boat? Not there.
Yeah,
Actually,
we could take it to the boat if it's that sort of size, if it's portable. If not, we might as well do it here.
How are you getting Rast out, by the way? You're just carrying this unconscious body of a professor
Terwin?
through the halls. Yeah, Terwin, not Rast. Terwin.
cast invisibility on him, Sam.
That is not a terrible idea, but then one of us will just be there like this.
Well, if I pass cast for that tree, so we can just go straight past everybody anyway.
I'll have pass for that, Trace.
It's apparently invisibility. Apparently.
Yeah, I think if it does it affect anything I'm holding, if I cast invisibility.
Everything you're holding, but I don't think that counts as people.
You can cast it on him, though, right?
Yeah, if I cast it at level 3, which I will, then I can make both of us invisible.
Okay, cool.
Why don't you cast it on either Mazzy or myself, as we're slightly stronger.
And
That's
also
true.
Oren to the school.
Yeah.
So the way around.
We'll do that then. Should I do Mazzy?
Can I just quickly also just rifle through his pockets and just see if he's got any notes or anything
Money?
like that on him?
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. But unfortunately, no, he doesn't really have much on him. Again, he has a shopping list in his pocket. You can find 6 copper if you want to.
I'm not going to rob him yet.
Fair enough.
6
but
copper,
yeah,
you say?
I mean, you can take it if you want to.
Look, you're that guy that you go around at dinner time and you look at people's plates and they've got one roast potato. You just go, "You're going to eat that."
No, it's more just in case he had anything any notes on his person or something like that he was trying to hide.
No. It doesn't appear so anyway.
Okay, cool.
So Matt and him are invisible. Can we carry this
Yep.
lockbox to the boat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So I'll take you out of the map.
Doc, you can take the lockbox if you want.
Cool.
And then
Ahead.
a skedaddle. Was there anything else in there? Just the lockbox.
It was the lockbox and just a bunch of like random notes and papers. You know, like stuff like teacher would have, like maybe like a syllabus, a little checklist of how different students are doing, that sort of generic thing. But this lockbox was tucked very, very like far into the back, as far as you could. It was clearly tried to be hidden. Obviously not very well, because it's just like in a desk and it's like a decently sized thing, but was shoved to the back. But you walk through this city streets. They are now filled a lot of the time with with students. Now students of the college and different sort of just like regular schools and stuff now, like finishing for the day, running around. A lot of people are finishing up work for the day about now. So they're sort of walking home, going to different taverns and inns and stuff. It's a fairly merry sort of occasion. Making it down to the docks, it's as busy as ever as the capital. So obviously there's a lot of trade coming back and forth. It doesn't stop depending on the time of the day. It just like keeps going. Often Oramis might know that, you know, a lot of this stuff often just goes like way into the night, because, you know, people can't necessarily control the winds and stuff and how often they'll get to places and how fast they can get to places and things like that. So it's a very, very busy place, but you do eventually make it to the boat. You sort of shove him onto the boat, I guess. I don't know what you want to do with him in the boat. If you imagine it's sort of like a decent sized, bigger than a rowing boat, smaller than a caravel. I don't know. Decently sized dhow ship. What would you like to
be one
do?
of those things where we never really know how big Oramis's boat is.
Yeah,
it's actually a philosophical
if you imagine
question.
Space on a map.
Yeah, this is quantum physics.
If you imagine space on a map as like a 2 by 6, 2 or 3 by 6, sort of feet on a map of the sort of area that you can access and walk around.
Oh, is that it?
So it's like 10 by 15 feet.
Yeah, something like that. Not that big, but it does have a small sort of latch on the bottom of it to place, obviously, goods and things like that away from the weather and the water and things like that. And it does have a decent sized mast, a sail that sort of hangs proudly, with Oramis sort of looking at it very, very proud. What would you like to do? He is now on the boat, still invisible, so if you want to drop that, you can.
Yes.
Lying there as the water just waves and washes over the boat itself.
Should we sail out to sea, or should we do this in the harbour?
What are the... if we go out to sea, then we won't be defying loads of conventions, will we?
Nah. International waters, anything goes.
No, we'll just do it on the boat. I think we'll just sort of pass time until he wakes up. We'll play some cards and stuff like that.
Fair enough. I'm going to roll a d4, see how long he's unconscious for. 1 hour. After an hour of doing whatever you want to do, if you want to count that as a short rest, by the way, you can. It's an hour of not doing anything in particular, so you could roll some hit dice if whoever needs to be healed or anything like that. And after spending an hour just sort of doing whatever, you begin to sort of see him coming to. His eyes just start flittering. He's like, what? Begins to wipe like some of the water sort of off his face where it might have splashed from the outside, and he takes his hand to his nose for like the horrid smell, or at least what he thinks is the horrid smell of like fish and seaweed in the ocean and that kind of thing. He's like, what the? Where am I? Who?
Oh, should we have opened the lockbox?
Oh yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that beforehand.
Sorry, we actually said...
if you want to do that in your
hour tools? Oh, that's.
Unfortunately, Oramis is unable to pick the lock open.
What about
this
crack?
hour?
I've expended one of my things, so I've had a second go. How about that?
I'll allow it. Yeah, after the first one, you break it. After the second one, I think we'll probably do it, because usually what it is like, if you roll badly on thieves' tools, it's like it's unpickable. That's it. But I do kind of like the idea where
by you hand him over.
Yeah. Whereas I do kind of like the idea that it is a bit more almost Skyrim-esque. So you have a certain amount of lockpicks, and if you fail, it breaks, and if you pass, you get it open. I think it just makes it a lot easier because a lot of like plot stuff is to do with lockpicks, and then when you run out of lockpicks, you're fucked. Hey.
Speaking of which, I think I only have 2 left, so I might need to pop to the shops at some point.
Fair enough. I don't know what shop you would get lockpicks from, but I guess we'll figure that out when we get there.
Secret.
Secret
shops. But yes, okay. With the 22, you are able to open the lockbox, and inside is a lot more. There's a lot more letters. Someone roll me. You'd all probably be reading these, so someone just roll me just a straight like intelligence check with advantage, just to sort of make sense of all the different letters that you're writing.
Whoever's most intelligent.
Yeah, it is
just assume that's
just a straight intelligence check.
Just a straight intelligence.
Not very clever.
You said with advantage, though.
With advantage, so a 16. You're able
Very
to
clever.
decipher a lot of this. A lot of this stuff. It's a lot of different dates. You can tell that it's letters. It's in fact letters from a man signed Professor and a man named James. Within the letters, they begin to talk.
Ben, the guy in our other campaign is called James. You can't be mixing these names up.
Oh, God. Fine, he's called Jordan. Fuck it. I'll change the name. I'll change the name for that. A man named Jordan. You read and sort of rifle through a lot of this stuff. So I'm just writing the name Jordan down so not forget it. You rifle through a lot of this stuff, and it appears to be letters between Tone and Jordan talking about a plot to frame Mr. Partridge. So it appears that these two are friends, and they have been for a very, very long time, since they were children, as well as Mr. Partridge's daughter, Eleanor.
Do we think Jordan is the first Talon?
With the 16, I would say from the thing, you can ascertain from these letters, he talks about being in the Talons. Maybe every now and again he mentions of his promotion up to sort of being the head, like, oh, I'm gonna have to like watch what I say and watch where I am. You know, I'm now in sort of position of command within the Talons. I can't say much more. And they're talking a lot about how they can sort of frame him. Terwin apparently spoke Orcish, and therefore he knew that a lot of people don't, and therefore they would get the whole hammer thing confused. Apparently they did ask the guy to not leave his sigil on it, but he did it anyway. Juliana is apparently a friend to Terwin anyway. Well, Juliana apparently knows Terwin, but not by his original name, by another name, because he would sneak out from the college when he was younger to go to her cafe and eat the fine sort of things. It appears Terwin is from quite a high background, but Jordan wasn't, which is why... So basically, when they were younger, this is where you can sort of ascertain. When they were younger, Jordan, Terwin, and Eleanor were all best friends, but it was very, very evident that Eleanor and Jordan were going to get together. They were very much in love. She went off to study in the College of Dernstad. He went to study in the college of the sort of Arcane Wizards College in the capital, and Jordan was left on his own, a poor man with nothing else to do. His parents died fairly quickly after they left, and he was left with nothing to turn to other than the Talons. He made his way up through the ranks of the Talons. You can see this in his letters and talking about different jobs he's doing, how he feels sort of over time through these letters. You can tell that he feels a little better about the whole killing thing. Like at first he's like, oh God, I don't like doing this for money. But after a while he's like, whatever. It's money. It's a cruel world. Fuck it. And they talk about how they often sneak out to meet each other. Obviously, Jordan isn't allowed to have friends. It's part of the Talons thing. Is you don't really have friends outside. You don't have friends outside of the Brotherhood of the Black Talons, for fear of sort of giving away secrets and things like that. But obviously, good reason why he has been giving secrets to Terwin and Eleanor and stuff. Eleanor and him, when they come of age, when they get this is a few months back now, asked to marry, like Mr. Partridge told you. He said no unless he would tell him a lot of information. He gave him the information. Eleanor was taken away anyway. After that point, there are no longer messages between Eleanor. It's now just between Tywin and him, now plotting how they can get the revenge on Mr. Partridge. Specifically, the first time I'm wanting to know where Eleanor has been taken to. He doesn't know where she's gone. He doesn't know where she's been taken to and things like that. That is what you would be able to ascertain from all of those notes. And
Wait, so Lord Partridge has moved Eleanor somewhere else?
Yes, he's taken her away, sort of, to keep him from her.
Yeah.
Or to keep her from him, rather.
So Jordan doesn't like Lord Partridge because of that, but also doesn't like him because he's got dirt on him, which is possibly preventing Jordan from rising higher in the Talons, even though he's like second in command.
Well, it's more of a case of, so obviously to marry Eleanor, he told Mr. Partridge all this information.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he already knows
and
it.
now, so Mr. Partridge already knows it.
It's like a loose end,
Mr. Partridge, so now Mr. Partridge took that took Eleanor away and just knows this information anyway.
Yeah.
And he's clearly worried about what he's going to do with this information, as well as the fact that he is very, very, infuriated at the fact that he made a promise and he broke it in terms of being able to marry Eleanor.
Great Talon doesn't seem like a guy that's going to forgive that sort of betrayal very,
Well,
I've just thought of something.
you never know.
Hmm.
Yes.
We never established a way of getting back in touch with them.
We know the way.
They would have told you, like, oh yeah, meet us at the church you went to, sort of thing.
Good, nice little retcon. I'd like to think they would find us. They're probably watching us this whole time.
Maybe they have been. Maybe they haven't been.
They absolutely have.
Probably have, yeah. So Tywin has woken up somewhat. He's come to. He can't move. He's clutching at the thing in his side with the ice spike pierced his side. He's clutching at all the different wounds and stuff, and he's like moaning and in a lot of pain. But he is now awake and conscious and able to talk to you. Is there anything you'd like to say to him, or do you feel like you've got all you need?
Yeah, with this information, the kidnapping of the professor seems completely irrelevant.
I'll ask. So we've been through your safe, Tywin, so we know everything that you were doing. One thing we don't know, though, what were you going to do after you got rid of Lord Partridge?
Well, I don't know. It's a loose end cut off. Eleanor would eventually come back, obviously for some kind of funeral or something, I guess. We don't know. If I'm going to be honest, quite ashamed of myself for not planning that far ahead, but I guess my part after that is over. I never wanted to hurt anybody. I promise you. Well, no one other than Lord Partridge.
Plotting a murder seems
Wasn't plotting on
counterproductive to the not hurting anyone.
Wasn't plotting a murder. It was plotting to frame someone. It's rather different.
With murder.
Really?
And what were you thinking was going to happen to him?
Well, I knew he was going to die, of course, but at least it wouldn't be by my hand.
Sounds like plotting a murder.
He's an evil bastard, okay?
Lord Partridge?
He deserves what he's got coming to him. Well, he knew how much Jordan and Eleanor loved each other. They've loved each other ever since they were like 10 years old. And for him to go do what he did, he deserved it. That's all I'm saying.
Just think, Tywin, for a second. If you'd raised your daughter for 18 plus years and you saw her elope with someone in the line of work that he's in, could you just stand idly by and do that?
He's a good man at heart.
I'm not saying he made the right decision, but I think it's a tough decision.
What the hell do you guys even care? Why are you even here? It's had nothing to do with you.
That's a long story.
You ruined everything.
It's kind of our specialty.
That's what we do. Guess hands.
Well, it's no surprise.
I don't have the heart to tell this guy that the only reason we've ruined his plan is because we've got our own shit that needs dealing with.
Yeah, well, you know, survival of the fittest and all that.
Exactly. Right, let's kill him.
Bloody hell. Gylndan.
I was going to say.
I think so. What I'll actually say, Ben, is I think we've got everything we need. I'll give you the chance to resign from the college on your own terms.
Please, the college is all I have. Okay, Jordan has Eleanor. All the other professors have people. That the college, those children, are all I have.
With those fancy illusion tricks, have you ever considered a career as a bard?
A bard deals in music and words. I'm not exactly sure what you know what a bard.
You could perform, put on a show.
No. Ever since I was little, all I've wanted to do is train the next generation of wizards. That's what I will do.
I don't think someone with your moral compass should be in charge of children.
Can I roll persuasion to persuade him to become a performer?
I don't think you could roll persuasion to. I don't think you could roll persuasion to change a man's entire career.
No, yeah, because I mean, he's kind of put his foot in it by trying to get someone murdered. So.
Oh my god, you always roll well on these and it just ruins Ben's life.
I'm going to say, like, Gylndan will offer you a very fair chance to walk away with your head held high. Otherwise, we get the authorities involved, and then you're looking at time behind bars, or on the end of a noose, I expect.
Time on the end of the noose isn't very long.
Roll intimidation.
Oh yeah,
with advantage
well,
because it's
anyway.
you get advantage anyway. You got
Not that scary.
I've still got -2 on intimidation. Really.
It's not that scary, but it is at the very least something that crosses his mind. He's like, yeah, well, I suspect you've already told Rast of me. Yeah?
I know charisma is like built off, intimidation is built off a charisma stat. But is there any way we can do something in the background so that my intimidations don't suffer from a negative penalty? Because we kind of worked out this doc is slightly scary because of a massive face scar thing.
Well, I think
getting advantage is quite high, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think getting advantage is maybe enough because at the same time, charisma is.
So, like, instead of it being advantage with a penalty.
Yeah. There is a way.
Anyway,
there is a way we can do it. We can sort out.
Now, I just thought I'd throw that out as it crossed my mind.
Yeah. There is a way we can do that. If you'd prefer that, I'll figure that out. Yeah, I'll figure that out.
Yeah, I just thought it just crossed my mind now, so I thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, it's cool. So I guess with that 13, he sort of like it does begin to like cross his mind, like as much as you necessarily weren't intimidating, the facts you were telling him were true. He probably would be looking at time behind bars kind of thing. I guess what you say is true, dwarf. I mean, I'm sure many of you know I would do anything for my friends. They've been my friends for nearly all my life. What was I meant to do? Just sit idly by?
You could have put them on the right path.
What kind of right path is there in this fucking world? And what do I do in terms of that? How do I put a man on a right path when he's done something like that? I even tried to talk to Lord Partridge myself, but he wouldn't hear me. He hates wizards.
Sometimes some hard
never liked me either.
What a man or a dwarf needs to hear from time.
I guess so. I'll take you up on your offer. I will. Fine. I'll leave. I have a house in the south. I guess I'll go there and figure out my next move. He slowly begins to he is barely able to get up. He's still technically on 1 HP. He's sort of barely able to get up, especially with the rocking of the boat, with everyone sort of on it and it shaking about. Maybe he stumbles a little bit, but he does manage to sort of crawl his way off onto the dock, very sort of embarrassingly, rolls himself back up and is like, I guess, thank you for giving me the chance, but I swear to God, if we cross paths again...
You won't be so lucky next time.
Neither will you. And he
you can't just throw those things back at me.
And he stumbles
I
away.
just sort of like wave his wand at him and then just put it back in my pocket. I
I don't need that wand. I don't need that wand anyway. It was given to me as a present from Rast for getting the job, I guess. I guess I don't need it anymore. And
Is he saying this while he's
stumbles
hobbling away?
Yeah, I guess he's stopped to say that, and now he's sort of hobbling away, trying to use the sides of the docks and the
Not
pier
just talking to himself.
as a sort of support. You can see he looks clearly quite upset. His leg is badly hurt, and he's sort of clutching all of his sides. He's getting funny looks from people as well, like, holy shit, what happened to you? Yeah, some very clearly some...
a wizard of rogue.
Clearly some bad judo has happened to him, which you guys obviously know because you did it. But yeah, what would you like to do?
So
can I?
sassy, Ben. You obviously know you did it.
I didn't mean for it to be sassy. I'm sorry.
Can I
yeah,
turn to the group and just say what's the best way of breaking this without causing some internal strife within the Talons that we're going to be right in the middle of? Because he's going to have support, Jordan, isn't he? If it goes down like that, it's going to be a bit of a civil war, I think.
I propose we visit the first Talon, give him the letters so he can work it out for himself, and then we skedaddle and leave
the great Talon, you mean?
Yeah, and leave them to just do a load of infighting between themselves.
That might be the way.
If they kill a bunch of, if you think there'll be a load of infighting and they kill a bunch of each other, then a few less assassins in a city ain't gonna be any skin off our noses.
I don't think we're going to be able to get it to him without the first Talon having a look.
We could always go the deception route, which may end up getting us killed, and pretend like we've killed someone. Maybe take a hand, which could be casted.
Where are we getting that?
Where are we getting a hand?
Where?
I reckon with the right persuasion and a bit of money, we could get a hand off someone in the street.
Just roll persuasion and say, I need your hand.
Yeah, no, that's a really good idea. 2 hands is too many, you're right.
I reckon you go to the poor districts, okay, you say 10 gold for your left hand. You don't use it that much.
10 gold.
Minor illusion.
No way.
That's
Why did you go to minor illusion?
I said minor illusion, but no one listened, so I carried on
if we
with
went to some sort of like mortuary or something like that?
Wow, that's dark, man.
Got the hand of a dead person.
That's better than...
Oh my god. Do you have that thing that brings people back to life?
Yes, but it cost me 300 golds worth of diamond.
Well,
Also,
you
it
go
brings
sort
them
that
back
out.
to life, like, as a person.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you could kill them and then bring them back to life as like a zombie. No, they would be like fully alive again.
It would be
Yeah, that's
funny,
what I mean. We could bring someone back to life from the graveyard, kill them, and then take that
It
person
only
to
works on
the...
someone that's died within the last minute.
We could kill someone, bring them back, kill them again.
We've veered slightly off course. No. I think you've suggested more than enough, my friend. I think we'll call it.
Final suggestion.
Call it there. I think you're all right, mate. Thank you. Now go on.
Someone on death row.
you've killed
We can offer them a
someone.
clean death.
Oh.
What's your final suggestion, Luke?
Someone on death row. We offer them a quick death, like a warrior.
What death row?
Oh, the people that are in the dungeons going to be hung.
Hold on. Right. Before we rule out this hand plan, I actually want to hear what the end of the hand plan was after we acquired a hand.
We take the hand.
Then. Oh yeah, we have to have a plan. Don't use it.
We take the hand as proof and be like, look, we've found the person, we've dealt with them. There won't be any bother to you. Here's a token of our.
Might I offer a thing for thought there? That is potentially just saying,
Here's
here's
a random
proof
hand.
we killed a man and took his hand.
Yeah, the Great Talon might want proof we've killed the right person.
And how are we going to? How are we ever going to prove that?
I've got the letters in this box.
I don't find that.
We have the written confession, so to speak.
The only thing I think is we're gonna to get to the Great Talon, we're gonna have to go through the first Talon, and I think he will be wary that this stuff exists.
Final suggestion.
Also, we don't know where Terwin's going. Terwin could be stopping by Jordan as we speak.
What if we send a message to the Great Talon, tell him to meet us somewhere?
How's it getting to the Great Talon?
Well, one of us can go. Mazzy, maybe. For example, go to the Great Talon.
Festival League, is that what you're saying? Ouch.
No, he's reliable. Go to the Great Talon, say we have something for you, but we can't bring it here. You'll understand why when we show you. Bring any men you want. Let's go, but don't bring him because he's a little nutbag.
he's the murderer.
Don't bring him because, spoiler alert.
Because reasons.
Bring
Okay.
people you trust.
Yeah, that's a good idea, no?
That's very awkward when he rocks up with the first Talon.
It is, but
Okay.
hopefully. I mean,
I think that's our best bet to avoid a
so
civil
rather
war.
than going down there, we try and arrange a meeting.
Yeah, I don't want to go down there again. It's horrible.
The
I
boat's a
don't
good
want to go
place.
by myself. I want to point this out.
I'll go.
But so,
Right,
so you two are taking a message, or should we might as well all just go take a message to him.
Well, yeah, we'll go to the church, and we'll go to the church and like meet whoever we're going to meet, and like then like just give the message like we want to meet the first Talon, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
On the
So
boat.
you're going to head back to the church.
In the ocean. Let's head back to the church.
The church in the ocean.
Where are we going to meet? Are we going to meet?
Well,
The church. Oh, what meet him?
Yeah. Where are we going to tell him to meet us?
I mean, a big open space like a plaza is probably not a terrible idea. Because I feel like they'd be more reluctant to do something if it's out in the open.
Yeah. Or do we want to meet like
The plaza
Well-
of the Wind District. Which one was the wealthy one?
the Cloud District
Okay.
or the Falcon District?
The
was super
the
wealthy
extremely wealthy one is the Cloud District.
Okay.
one. Hello, it's the Falcon District.
Oh yeah, the Falcon District. Sorry.
Where are we at the
Thank you.
moment?
You are currently by the docks, so you are in the something district, the
Cloud, I
Cloud
guess.
District.
Cloud, yeah.
Cloud.
What's the route? Is that like
the,
a lower class of people, for want of a better way of describing it?
God, so elitist.
What do you mean? So like
So is it like working class people, whereas the Cloud District's like middle class? Is that sort of split?
Cloud District sort of like middle class. Cloud District is very very middle class. Imagine
And then the route is the opposite. So working
Yeah.
class. Okay. I think we
Yeah,
want to meet him in the Cloud District Plaza because there's every chance if we do it in the Route 1, people will just get involved with.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
We're gonna go to the Temple of Mars in the Wind District and deliver a message that we want to meet Great Talon in the plaza of the Cloud District.
Yeah.
That's good.
Alright. So
Shall
You-
we take a
yes, probably a good idea to take a break there.
break just before we get to
Actually, it is
anything
about
else?
halfway.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was sort of
Yeah.
summarizing it.
Sweet.
into it, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we're back. You guys were going to travel to the. Church of Mars in the Wind District to ask them to give you to tell the Talon to meet you in an open place to discuss your things. So you make it back to the Church of Mars. As you'd enter, I don't think I've actually changed some of your character positions, so I'm going to have to do that briefly. So you guys would be sort of.
Hey, this looks
back.
familiar.
You guys would sort of be back here. You would enter, and two Talons are sat on pews fairly casually until you arrive, at which point they get up and they try and look very regal and assassiny and sort of like quite dark. Like you could see they were chilling quite clearly, like having a chat to each other. Then as soon as you enter, they get up, swords out, sort of like ready to strike in quite sort of practiced sort of bladesman poses. Take it away.
What, geezers?
I have a message for the great Talon.
Okay.
Oh, tell him the
What
work
is
is done to meet us in the
The
Great
work is
Plaza
done.
of the Wind District. Was it Wind?
Cloud District.
Cloud District. Fuck you and your districts. I grew up here as well, that's embarrassing. The Cloud District, yes.
I like it.
The great Talon does not leave his sanctuary. He will send someone in his stead. I'm sure of it.
Who?
Nah, I don't think he should. He really needs to do this in person.
Why?
It's for his eyes only. I can leave my weapons with you.
That's not the
If that'll
reason.
make you more comfortable.
That's not the
what's-
reason he
what's the
doesn't go
reason?
out. There are too many eyes, ears everywhere, all around
We
the
can make
city
him
that would
invisible.
like him dead.
Well,
That's
would do
far too
nothing.
practical, Matt.
give him the message that the job he set has been completed, and he may change his mind as to how it feels about going out.
I
It
will
is
give him your-
imperative he sees us in person. It is imperative.
Then why do you not come down to our hideout?
It's a delicate situation.
We will give him the information.
We have information for his eyes only.
Wait here. We will go down and tell him of this. We will bring back a reply. They both go over, open up the door once again, and then head down. And they are gone for a little while.
Why do I have the feeling that we're going to do it here?
Can we just run
They're
when
gone.
he comes up?
They're gone for quite a while, but eventually they're back. It's a couple of hours now, so it's probably around nightfall. Like the sun is sort of just going down. You can see the sort of red of the sun coming through the broken windows of the church itself. They walk up the stone thing. The stone thing sort of lowers again, and they walk up. And with them walks up another Talon. This one you recognize. The first Talon.
Oh, shite.
The Great Talon's second in command.
He's got number two.
Walks up the stairs. Yeah, these are just sort of reusing the ones from before, but I will put a thing on him there. This one here is the first Talon. And he walks up and he stands, again looking very regal, hand on his sword to his side. These initiates here say that you have found the information. You've completed his task. I'm here on the Great Talon's stead, as he does not wish to leave his sanctuary at this pressing time. Hand over the information. I'll deliver it
don't think
myself.
we'll be doing that, Jordan.
Dun, dun.
Immediately, he pulls out his sword.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. Come on.
The two The two talons beside him also pull out their blades. The first talon looks at both of them. Initiates. This is a prime example of when your victims are scared. They make up lies about you. My name is not Jordan. You all know this. My name is the first talon, and I'm known only as such. Do you understand? The both of them sort of nod in a very scared look, like they are very clearly way in over their heads here. And I guess we'll roll initiative.
Oh, we didn't take a long rest, did we?
No, we took
No, you did not.
Ben is taking a short rest.
I think I'm.
Do you have a
Oh, hang
bonus
on.
for sure?
Did you get
That's
enough
just
help
that-
back, Jojo?
That's just healing there, isn't it?
Well, you're a wizard, so... you've got arcane recovery.
That may also be.
I do have arcane recovery. Just checking what that gives me.
I'll roll initiative for them.
Did you get enough healing back?
Yeah, I'm not gonna write about 2/3.
Fair.
Ben, I get 1 level 2 spell slot back.
Okay.
Plus, use any wish out of the level 2s.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just a couple
Okay.
of spells.
That's a problem. These are some tasty initiative rolls. Pop mine in.
Have you rolled yours?
Oh, that's some
Alright,
very
I'm
tasty
at the-
initiative rolls.
Except Mazzarious.
Oh wait, I need to add the dex. All right. So, at the beginning of the round, it is the Talon's turn first with a natural
I
20.
don't want any bloodshed. I just want to speak to the first tower.
They will walk up to you. He will walk up to you slowly, his sword drawn, and will stand here. The other two Talons will pull out light crossbows, sort of dark wood, tainted black metal over them. He will stand sword ready and say, "Give me the information you have. I will not ask a second time. This is your final warning."
Great time on the
Do you waste a whole action doing that?
No,
Oh.
not yet. He is going to have a held action, and so will his buddies, if you do anything other than giving him what he probably assumes is the letters, but giving him some piece of information or some piece of
why didn't we have a hand?
I told you.
some piece
However,
of
we do
some
have a
piece of
minor
something.
illusion.
some piece of something.
Who goes first?
You,
After
four of us.
after
I definitely go
Talons,
last.
it will be Oramis.
So is that the Talon's turn done, Ben? Are you calling it?
I'm calling it done, as they are going to have held actions to attack should you do anything other than give up their information.
Can I, from behind my back, using minor illusion, pull out a box and say, "Here is the."
Let
Kudos.
me have
Love
a look at minor illusion a minute, because it's SM, so that's
You got to speak.
Somatic and
Oh no, yes.
material.
You got to do hand
So you don't have
movements.
to speak. You got to do hand
you,
movements.
you don't have to speak, you can do it behind your back. Make me a sleight of hand check to see whether you can do it behind your back without them sort of realizing what you're doing.
Oh, fucking
Oh,
Yes! That's what Oramis was built for.
Okay. You pull out from behind you the illusion of a box. What do you do?
Well, I think with minor illusion, doesn't it end when they touch it, or do they have to make a...
It's an illusion of a thing. It's not a real thing. So it's not that it ends, but you can make a damn good thing that when the hand goes through the box,
I don't know what to do now. I didn't think this far ahead.
And if that isn't the Oramis motto, I don't know what is.
Ben, I don't. If Oramis pulled that out and walked towards them to give it to them, do you think they would relax, or they'd still have their held action technically, wouldn't they? Definitely the two at the back. Maybe not the guy you were given, not the first talent, but.
I guess that's up to you. But you are, in theory, especially with that sleight of hand check, giving him what he's asked for, or preparing to give him what he asked for anyway.
You've shown him what he thinks he wants.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm going to hope someone can help me out with some imagination on their turn, and I'm going to walk towards the talent and hold it out, but not hold it out to give it to him, just so that he can see it and just be like, "This is what you were after."
Okay.
But I'm not handing it over to him yet. Just
okay. All right. Sounds good. Next up is Gylndan.
Yes. I am Gylndan.
You are Gylndan.
I'm Gylndan. I think I can get all three of these in a 30-foot cube. So I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern.
All right. What's the save?
I believe it's Wisdom saving throw.
For 14, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to roll number 1. Passed. Number 2. Number 3. This guy over here, suddenly his eyes fill with these colors, and he stands there. He lowers his light crossbow slightly. He's dazed off, sort of into thing. In the other two's eyes, you see these colors flash for a moment. However, they shake their heads, snap out of it suddenly, and unfortunately realize that you've done something other than giving them a box.
Here it comes. It's worth a shot.
The Great Talon doesn't have anything actually out that he can attack.
Because he's not here.
Yes, the first Talon. And you're sort of blocked by Oramis, and he can't move on a reaction. But the other one will have a go. You will get half cover from being behind Oramis from that angle with the first one. That is... Why did I make that noise? That was weird. 13, Sam?
Yeah, what does half cover give me?
+2, so it doesn't hit.
Oh, so 14.
Doesn't hit. Is it +2 or +3?
5 then?
3/4 is +5, yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't hit. The bolt whizzes sort of past your shoulder. The Great Talon. I would admit. Probably not. No, definitely not. I wouldn't do that to you guys. But yeah, sort of whizzes past your shoulder again. Mazzy, like you're just like quick to react. You're like, whoa, oh, hello. As this bolt flies past.
Matrix out the way.
The first Talon now looks.
I like to imagine
very
Matt
pissed.
he's just standing there, just doesn't move, and it like just flicks his hair like under his ear or whatever. He's just like.
I'm watching it. I'm well aware of the direction it's going. I know it's going to miss me, but it just.
So
I get a little bit of a haircut.
First, like, knocks it out.
think-
Gets out a little pen, starts writing Talon 1.
Going through the first Talon's mind right now is, yeah, he's tried to confuse me, but the box is right here. I can just grab it and run. And that'll be that. Is that everything, Gylndan?
Yeah.
Excellent. Doc.
Oh, it's fine.
I mean, there's
Shouldn't
a
have,
time
sorry.
for diplomacy pass.
Not strictly speaking.
Just be like, this is like.
I mean, the Allies tried diplomacy right up until the Nazis invaded Poland. So there's there's a lot of scope, JJ.
It's like,
What's the phrase? You cannot negotiate with the tiger when your head is in its mouth. I think our head is in the mouth of the tiger.
I'll take a step forward and just be like, we just want to talk to the great talent. No one needs to do anything stupid.
Tell that to your wizard friend. Give me the box.
Why don't we hold on to it and we'll go see him?
Hmm.
Can I just
Okay.
Can I shoot Doc the eyes?
That's actually quite interesting. Hold on, you said, why don't we give it to him? Well, okay. Okay. Well, I guess you'll find out what the first handler does on his turn, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold an action that if he attacks, I will attack him back.
Okay. Cool.
But other than that, I won't do anything.
Okie dokie. Mazzy, it's your go.
Did you actually give an answer from the first from the guy? 'Cause-
No, it's technically not his turn. We could drop in.
Okay, so he hasn't actually said
if
yes
people
or no
wanted
to.
Speaking is like a free action, so you can. I think you can reply if someone says something on your turn. But again, it's like only like a sentence or two because it's supposed to be 6 seconds.
Do I know his response to Doc? Is basically what I'm trying to say.
In order to respond to Doc, he's going to have to make a insight check
Well,
because he's
yeah.
very concerned that something's going on. So let's make an insight check. He rolled a 6. I think he thinks something's going on, but he's definitely not sure what, and he's kind of confused. But he does know, obviously, the stakes if you've got it right, and you do currently have the same box that his friend has. Not that he would necessarily know what box his friend's keeping the stuff in. So I guess he'll drop his guard. He will certainly drop his guard, and for the moment we can drop initiative.
Okay.
He'll hold his hand up to the other one. Let my man go, wizard. His friend suddenly sort of snaps out of his own. Whoa. What the? Ugh. He turns around. Initiates, prepare the door. They walk over and go to prepare the door. But he'll ask first, what is the evidence that you provide, by the way? Just so that I know you're not trying to bring in some kind of poisonous dagger. What's in the box?
What's in the back?
Some papers.
He says this as you can...
Some correspondence between the person we were trying to catch.
There's a signed confession.
Signed Damn. Who was the unlucky bastard then? He waves his hand and the two initiates pull up the daggers briefly, and you can see the stone crumbling and the floor beginning to slowly go down.
It was Lord Partridge.
Who? His eyes widen. Turns around. Really? How'd you get to Lord Partridge? He's certainly been on our radar for a little while.
I think we've said enough. before?
I'm intrigued. There is a little ways walk to the sanctuary. I'm sure we can.
I don't
That's a
mind
have a
long
chat.
silence.
walk, isn't it? That's a
I'm
long
the-
walk.
But we can
I'm
just. Sorry.
I'm the
Ben.
first Talon. I would like to be aware of how and what he was planning on doing, of course, and how you got that confession out of him. That's
Well, we
that's
can
some
be
that's some impressive work.
very
Persuasive.
compelling when we want to get the truth out of people. And I just sort of like not like cast a spell, but like light my fingers up with like a little bit of like sacred flame or something like that, giving the implication of torture.
Ah, I see. And he just confessed, just like that.
There are certain spells, if you know what you're doing, that can get people to tell you quite almost anything, really.
Certain handshakes.
Interesting. Well, maybe after we hand this stuff over to the Great Talon, we could have a chat. Maybe we could learn a thing or two from you lot. See exactly how you managed to get this confession out of Lord Partridge. You know, it's funny. We've done nothing against Lord Partridge. Did he happen to maybe say, by the way, now you're sort of like heading down into the catacombs, sort of walking along this quite narrow path, about like 10 feet sort of wide, heading down. Did he happen to say why he was he sent such a death threat to the Great Talon himself?
It was something to do with just meddling with his business, and he was sick of it, so he wanted to send a firm warning to stay away from what he does.
He seemed very protective of his daughter.
Oh, JJ!
His eyes light up.
You fucked it, mate.
And he turns around.
All we have to do is not say anything.
His daughter, you say, Lord Partridge has a daughter. I didn't even know. Did he happen to mention anything about her? Any information? Of course, if maybe she's on the murder too, we might need to have word with her.
I think he was just concerned about the kind of people in this city.
He didn't feel the city was safe. He sent her away.
Roll me a sort of group perception check. No, not perception.
Can I just roll you persuasion?
Deception.
Can we nominate Oramis to roll deception, please?
I mean, we're not. We are. Well, I guess we are lying, but also
We are absolutely
lying.
You have definitely been lying about everything to do with Lord Partridge doing that.
There you go.
I mean, he did send his daughter away though for her.
No,
but you've
that's
also
fine.
said that
Everything before that is a
everything
stone cold
before
lie.
that was definitely a stone cold lie.
Yes.
But with Oramis's 25 deception,
Oh, okay, yeah.
what's even the point of pretending that doesn't sway him? I guess, yeah. So, like, I guess as you're talking with Oramis's deception, he's sort of like filling in the blanks, as it were. You guys are like trying to like mumble your way through the lies and stuff, and Oramis is just like, yeah, well, obviously this happened because of this, and this happened because of that. You know, it really makes sense when you think about it. Blah blah blah. Trying to, I guess, play it off like, and I guess the first Talon looks actually quite impressed. Like, wow, for a moment he's actually like, wow, did they actually torture Lord Partridge? Like, I know he didn't do it, but damn, did they torture him into just... I guess they must have tortured him so much that he just confessed to it to get the torture over with? I don't know.
It's just how we roll.
And you continue the walk down and down into the crypts. The crypts are cold, wet, very, very gloomy. One of the initiates has a torch ahead of him, lighting the way, and it is a long walk down there. As you make it to the sanctuary. Finally, after going down a set of stairs and sort of down a small sloped bit, you see once again the drow stood there. The sort of drow stood there as a guardian, just in the darkness. Walking past him, he nods at the first talon and sort of bows a little bit as he walks past, and then you finally make it to this portcullis. He turns. Just before we go in, I'd like to see what's inside this box. Again,
that's not what we agreed.
You can't be too careful.
That's not what we agreed.
Well, not what we agreed, but
we told you it was a silent confession.
Okay,
well, I'd like to see it.
I'm still maintaining the minor illusion, so can I not just lift the lid and there's just some papers inside?
See, the thing is can you change minor illusion on the fly?
Who's to say I changed it and didn't always have it in there?
Is it like an animation that you're making? I guess it's up to how magic.
What's the description of minor illusion?
The description of minor illusion.
In the past, we've used it for things like fire, and that's like a moving object. So surely
that is a good point. That is a good point, actually. The illusion ends if you just miss it. You know what? I will allow it because we've used it for things like fire and quite complicated stuff like that. So
opening a lid is
I'll allow it. Yeah, opening a lid and having like a little bit of paper. We can maybe say that Oramis, you're a fairly clever guy. You probably would have done something like that anyway.
Minor illusion is just like doing this. Everyone's like minor opening a lid.
I guess, I guess you could do that. Make me another sleight of hand check, because obviously you do still have to do some stuff with your hands, just to sort of see whether anything maybe tricky is going on.
Come on, Oramis.
As you still obviously do have to do some stuff with your.
Boy.
You're all right. As you so you're like, yeah, sure, obviously, and you sort of place. You sort of like place one hand underneath the thing. You're holding it with two hands. Place sort of one hand underneath the thing, which is now like doing the sort of somatic things underneath. And with the other hand, you pull the box open and hand out and just show him a letter. Is it like the full letter with the sort of everything sort of?
It's like folded and wax sealed.
Folded and wax sealed. Okay.
Doesn't have like a imprint on it or anything like that, because I haven't thought that far ahead. But it's just got a wax blob on it.
He's going to make an investigation check as you hold it up. He rolled poorly. He rolled a 3.
Thank goodness.
He seems to be fairly satisfied with it. He's like, that is his sigil. Fairly fancy paper, quite waxed. That definitely seems like something from the Partridge Manor, I guess. I don't know how you boys did it, but I guess you did it. Let us in.
How are we carrying the actual evidence, by the way? Have we just got someone else carrying another chest that we just bought?
Well, which one of you was holding the chest? Holding the actual chest?
Don't think we discussed that.
Well, we've all got like packs and stuff like that. So
we share the information.
True.
I don't imagine I guess it depends on the size. Like, I'm imagining this thing is sort of like a lock, like a lockbox, like this big that you could just stick in a bag. And seeing if Gylndan was the one that read it, I kind of assumed he's just like stuffed it back in his bag.
I have it then.
Okay. We can roll with that. You see him sort of wave his hand, open it up. The portcullis raises. You step in. Dozens of talons once again stood there, cleaning their swords, sharpening their blades, cleaning their sort of garments and stuff. All of them sort of wearing wraps around their faces. And as you sort of walk in, maybe before they weren't all wearing wraps around their face, but you can definitely see a lot of them sort of trying to cover a lot of their faces not to be seen by you. You walk through these various different rooms where maybe they're chilling out, some are sleeping, some are, like I said, cleaning blades and things like that. And you finally make it to the Great Hall, this very, very large open hall. again lit by torches, dimly lit either side, except for a very dark space at the very, very end of the room where the Great Talon, you can see in this extremely dim light, the silhouette of the Great Talon sat very sort of nonchalantly like that in this sort of big stone throne, almost. Talons line the room by the torches, stood very, very proud with swords, sort of like hands drawn at their sides, like on these like wavy sword kind of thing, each dressed in these black robes with masks around their face. Ah, you have returned. Impressive, actually. I gave you 2 days and you only do it in 1.
What can I say?
How did you do it?
I didn't say that.
So then, what have you brought me? What are you here to tell me?
I can't think of a better way to do this. So I'm assuming Luke's still there with his minor illusion box. I'll just walk forward, not going towards Luke to pick up the box, and then just open my sack and get the other stuff out.
It's like, surprise, bitch!
And then I'd like to think Oramis would just sort of, like, he'd have the box in his hands, and then he'd just go like that, and it'd just be gone.
Just felt like first talent, just going.
Do you know how we were trying to avoid this situation, and we've ended up in this exact situation?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The first Talon, his eyes once again widen, and he stares at you, very, very, like, oh my god, what were you? And he immediately pulls out a dagger. Gylndan, can you make me a strength saving throw as he tries to grapple you?
Oh my god.
He's going to roll.
Have you seen this one already?
Poorly.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
It's because we haven't had a long
But
rest.
you'll
I've
need
already
to be
used it. Just a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw, yeah.
What did he roll?
Poorly, I'll give you that.
I didn't roll much better.
You're better than him.
Oh, back off.
Though he is a extremely well trained thing, you sort of like use the box, like nudge him aside. The Great Talon just shouts, "What is the meaning of this?" And the first Talon turns around. It's lies, they tell you. Great Talon, please listen to me. They've come here. It was them. I saw them. I saw them meddling with Lord Partridge and in the Wizards College and everything. I was watching them the entire time. They were meddling with that with the one that gave them with the one that made the dagger and that half orc. Everything. It was them, sir.
Who has the truth?
He once again sits.
I have
Bone
a
of truth.
spell that cast that can be caused to refuse.
He sits. The Great Talon sits, seeing his desperation, and doesn't particularly care. What is that in the box, gentlemen?
Condemnation for your right-hand man.
Oh, bang, bang.
Really?
The evidence.
Yeah.
To convict.
Bring it here, let me see.
I'll take it to him.
As you begin to take it to him, the first Talon is going to make an attack against you. As he's clearly very, very desperate. As he does...
Well, against me.
Whoever's bringing ahead the box.
Yeah, I'll take it. Come on, Jordan, you little bitch.
Does a 21 hit?
Of course
Yes.
it does.
Can I? This is probably going to be a no, but can I use a reaction to like intercept and like?
No,
Block it.
because that's a feature. That's a fighting style that fighters have.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Wait, so he's tried to grab me with the dagger, and then the Great Talon's asked him to stop doing that, and then I've then taken the papers to him, and he's attacked me again, and I can't do anything about it.
Absolutely.
Why am I letting this happen?
I mean, we haven't even read out. We haven't even.
Gylndan, over here.
That's
Oh, toss it about like a football, yeah.
Oh, what's that?
We haven't
What's
even
the what's the film? The magic one.
Harry
Magic.
Potter.
Oh.
Mike.
No, the with the 4 people. Oh, I know exactly what you mean,
What's
where they
that
toss the
film,
card
The
about
Magic
to
Yeah, they
the
toss
air.
the card.
now you see
Yeah.
me. Now you see me.
Now you see me. That's
Now
it.
you see me, yeah, we're in the airport where they flick the card around to each other.
Sam,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you take
No, I mean-
13 damage and make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh god. How much? 13 damage, yeah?
Yep, and a Constitution saving throw.
That's alright.
Can you take a further 9 damage?
That's not alright.
You pass the save, but unfortunately, yes, you take a further 9 damage. You feel the poison from his blade sting through your back, but you manage to sort of shake it off. Suddenly, the Great Talon, sorry, gets up from his seat.
I was gonna say, you better fucking do something. Alright,
He raises his hand, and nearly all of the talons around him. So there's like 6 talons in this room guarding the place, as well as just others, like onlookers and stuff, are now running towards the first talon to restrain him. I'm not going to make him roll a save. He's restrained. You're fine.
You'd have to roll a pretty good save to fight off 6 people plus.
Yeah. The first talon begins to shout, "What is the meaning of all of this, first talon? Know your place."
Can I just walk
You
up to Gylndan
wizard.
and just like put a hand on his back and cast Cure Wounds on him?
Thank you very much.
Let's actually cast the spell.
That hurt somewhat.
Where is my spells? There it is.
You're lucky he can only
I'm
make
lucky I
one
passed-
attack
I
per
think-
reaction.
Oh,
I think I'd
that's
have,
max healing off a level 1 Cure Wounds.
Oof.
Nice.
Bad.
Blessed Healer, and I gain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So I get 3 hit points back.
Nice.
I think if I'd have failed the dex save, I think I'd have died.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
That was
It would've been close,
very, very high for the he rolled very, very high for it. It wouldn't usually be that high. That was an outrageous roll. So yeah, as he sort of slashes at you, all these people run and sort of grab him. He's restrained. He's like trying to scream out. He's like, "No, they're lying to you. This is all an illusion, a trick. They've forged whatever's in there. Please, Great Talon, hear me, listen to me." And the Great Talon still ushers you to sort of come towards him. He has no time for the desperation of any of his soldiers.
Savage.
Will you give him the box?
Yeah. Well, it's like JJ said. Well, yeah. It's a bunch. We're giving papers. Don't matter, does it?
Yeah.
It's
You
not
hand him the
to us.
papers, and he just stares, looking at them. What is all of this? Why? What are these papers?
It was a rather elaborate ploy to frame Lord Partridge as revenge, and it involved threatening you, because I'm sure that would have serious repercussions.
He reads through some more. There is not silence. The silence from him for a minute or so as he sort of reads through some random papers. There is definitely not silence from the first Talon. He is really trying to escape. All these people are like kind of struggling to hold him back, but they still do hold him back. And he's like screaming, crying out, trying to be like, "No, this is all a lie. This is a trick. This is a lie." And he looks up and he's like, "Men, off of him." Everyone lets him go. He drops to the ground, exhausted. The Great Talon gets up off his feet and walks out into the light of the room. As you see him now in the light of the room, he is very tall, with this sort of long, sort of shrouded cape over his head, these 2 huge sort of pauldrons over his arms. His face beneath the skin is blue, very dark blue. You can tell he's a drow. And he wears this very fancy, ornate black steel armor. He walks over and says to the first Talon, kneeling down to him, "Is all of this true? Tell me now, and I can make it quick." The first Talon lowers his head. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Great Talon. Is there nothing you would do to... Could you forgive me? I swear I will... Or just let me go. Please, you will never see me again. I will kill Lord Partridge myself. You will never know any of the crimes. Please. The Great Talon places his finger to his lips. Shush now, child. Do not be desperate. Embrace death with honor. He walks back to his seat, slowly, sits down in his seat, and picks up his blade. His blade is a long staff with like a short sword on the end of it, like a glaive. He points the glaive towards the first Talon and is going to cast a 9th level disintegration on him.
Oh my god.
Which even with a dex save would kill him anyway. Which is the point of the 9th level disintegration.
Now I see why Ben knew what 9th level disintegration did when we were talking about spells that kill you quickly yesterday. Jesus.
A green sort of mist erupts from his blade. It shoots towards him like this sort of like beam of just necrotic and dark energy, but in this sort of bright green sort of color with these puffs of smoke, blasts into him. He screams out for a moment, a scream that echoes throughout all of the halls of the crypt. Suddenly, the entire place goes quiet. His body begins to this sort of green energy sort of goes through his veins, his eyes, his mouth, everything. And as he screams and begins to fall back to his knees disintegrate below him. And as his body weighs himself down, that just flies away too like ashes from a fire. The first Talon is nothing now, but a breastplate and a couple of blades.
What a flex.
Oh my lord.
No
He
chill.
was worried about someone trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Clearly.
All for sure.
I hope we never have to deal with this guy.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let this be a lesson to all of you. And he sort of speaking out to the rest of his Talons. We are a brotherhood here. We are one. That is what you all signed up for. Treachery like this will be repaid in exactly the same way. We always find out the truth. We are the Black Talons. They all bow their heads very ceremonially. And he turns around. And you, gentlemen, consider your girlfriend set free. She was smart hiding out on Lone Hill. We never would have thought to go there, but we found her in the end. I'll have word sent that she should be let free, and none of you or any other divination wizards should be harmed. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Great Talon.
Remember, in the coming weeks, Lord Partridge will die for what he knows. That will mean you are the only living souls that will know anything about the Talons. Should we have any unexpected guests, you'll be back in this room very, very soon. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal.
I hope you can see this as an act of friendship between us and the Talons.
I'm going to drink a colossal amount of alcohol and hope I forget everything. And it's going to be a colossal amount because I'm a dwarf.
Excellent.
Could I take a step towards the Talon in a very non-threatening way?
Right.
And just say, now you know you can trust us. If you need anything moved from one location to another, feel free to send someone to me. I'm your guy.
You've proved yourself today, gentlemen. I'll take you up. I might actually take you up on that offer.
All right, smuggler Oramis.
You may hear from one of my envoys soon. Now, you are free to go.
bow and turn to leave.
Yeah.
Bow and turn to leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to get some notes. You all turn to leave. 2 talons escort you out the door. Gylndan, you're the final person to leave, sort of walking through, and you turn your head back. As you turn your head back through the dark and the gloom, you can see the venomous green eyes of the talon staring at you as you leave. And as you lock eyes with him for a moment, you have another vision.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Why couldn't I have had this at the beginning? We could have skipped all this rubbish.
In your vision, this is nothing like the vision you had. This is nothing as impressive as the vision you had before. As you know, when Moraine was around, another divination wizard is near, they're much more powerful. No, this is merely a few seconds. In your vision, you stand in the middle of this very room, blood trickling along the floor from many talons fallen to blades and arrows. The great talon kneels at your feet, blood dripping from cuts and scars across his face, burns over his body. You raise your dragon staff to his neck, and a light crackles from its end. He begs, briefly, for his life, before crying out in pain, and your vision ends. You have truly seen how the great talon dies, after all.
My hand.
Oh.
And with that cheery thought, you can make your way back through the catacombs, all the way back to the top. They will take you out somewhere. They ask you where you're staying, so that they might take you out somewhere slightly closer this time. And if you guys give up that information, yeah, then you will get out here underneath this parapet. You, like stone once again moves. It's now very, very wet where you are. You walk sort of up this long spiral staircase and you enter out into the docks. The 2 talons don't dare walk up as far as you go. They just sort of tell you, and they reiterate towards you. They say, the great talon is powerful. Heed his warning. We will be watching you. And they walk back down into the darkness. What would you like to do, gentlemen?
That drink idea sounds fantastic.
Is there a forget spell?
Potentially.
I'm not going to tell anyone about what I saw, Ben.
Fair enough.
That's going to sit with me for a while, I think.
Fair enough.
I mean, it sounds like Gylndan's going to be getting quite the power up.
It's not so much that. It's more. I'll tell you now. I have no intention of going back there. So why are we back there? And why are we fighting them?
Why are we fighting someone with 9th level spells?
Also,
Yeah.
why are you trying to mess up my business arrangements?
All right. This is not all about you plugging your smuggling. We're guardians first and foremost. Let's remember that.
I've got my first client.
Oh, one
You're first.
final thing. I'm just going to retcon before we move on. The 2 talons that are taking you will place a couple of coins into Oramis's hand and say, "Oh yeah, and get that sigil taken off your bracer. It'll probably give you cause much more trouble than you'll probably need." It's about 5 silver, which would cover the cost of just having the sigil sort of removed from the bracer. Which you can just do at any
Can I
time.
have it changed?
You could have it changed. It might cost a bit more, but yeah, of course you could have it changed.
Can I have it changed into like a sea serpent, like a sea monster type thing?
Yeah. Of course.
Why not the symbol you got for our rings?
Yeah, I could, but
Dragons aren't popular though, are they?
no, I don't want to be like, don't know if, because that's kind of more subtle. Whereas if this is a bracer that people see, I'll think on it.
Brainstorm over
Alright.
moves.
Let's think on it.
Yes,
What?
brainstorm over.
What would you like to do now? It is now very, very late in the evening. Probably like nearing midnight by now. because obviously walking down there has been a couple of hours, just walking, talking, walking back. It's actually probably gone midnight, probably around 1 a.m. You can see many taverns are still sort of alive with a lot of jubilant singing and dancing and drinking and things like that, though probably a lot of them sort of beginning to close up. If you were to go back to the Westland Tavern, well, any tavern really, tavern really, you would have to repay for rooms, as your rooms only extended you that one night, the previous night. What would you like to do?
Go back to is it the Westland?
Yeah, the Westland Tavern.
Westland. Yeah, if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Have a quick nightcap.
Excellent. Well, in that case, you can all restore.
Gold, do you want us to knock off?
Pardon?
How much gold do you want us to knock off?
It's 3 gold for a room and a nice meal beforehand, which will get you the things the day after. Unless you just wanted to eat like rations, but that wouldn't get you the 1d4.
So we get a 1d4 bonus.
And you can all heal. Yeah. And you can all re-heal things and get all your spells back and all that good stuff. It is a lovely new day, the next day. What would you like to do?
I'd like to head over to the Root District on my own, Ben.
Excellent. Oramis is heading over to the Root District on his own. We'll deal with that in a moment. Anyone else want to do anything particularly different? If you remember, you have your meeting with Councilman of Arm at some point today. As I believe it was 2 days from when you said you were going to meet with him.
We said that's in
so
the
I guess
afternoon.
you'd probably meet back up around. Yeah, that was like, imagine it's like 1 to 2 p.m.
I guess we'll spend
for that sort of thing.
I would think we'll spend the time like planning what we're going to do next. Like if we know we've got this meeting sort of later in the day, and be like, oh well, where are we going to go after this? I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Before you do that planning, we'll just skip over to Oramis, who's walking down to the Root District. What would you like to do in the Root District, Oramis?
I would like to find a... Is there a market in the Root District?
Yeah. The market of the Root District is sort of somewhere around the middle. If you see like this clump of smaller houses here, this would be sort of like a lot of market stalls and different things like that. That's like the main sort of market of the district itself.
Could I roll investigation to see if there are any unsavory market traders?
Yeah, of course. Roll investigation. See how you end up.
1 second. While I find it, I'm being stupid.
They're in alphabetical order. There you go.
16 investigation. Yeah, you're meandering through the markets. It's fairly early in the morning. A lot of them are like just set up and everything's sort of going along. And between 2 market stalls, just behind, near a long sort of alley, you see a man in a black cloak, long sort of pointed chin and a small goatee beard, standing there watching sort of along, seeing the different people getting to work and sort of grinning to himself about a variety of different things. You see there's quite a large bag behind him as well, like a big sort of like duffel bag. You maybe catch his eye for a brief moment, and he turns sort of back into the alley, almost like he can tell you're sort of the kind of person you're maybe looking for, and sort of like almost gestures for you to, if you want to talk to him, you're gonna have to come in here.
Okay. I will go and have a word with the shady gentleman.
Yeah. He, as you sort of enter the marquee, you'll sort of look at you. So, What are you in the market for? Market. What are you in the market for, my good man? Anything in particular?
I don't know what can I do. What can I do for you? What can you do for me?
What do you mean? What can you do for me?
I know people. I travel. Maybe I could transport some goods if you needed that kind of service.
It is a possibility that I might need a few things taken a few places where a few eyes might not wish to be seen.
What are you in the business of?
I think the less you know in the situation, the better. I should probably say. Whereabouts are you headed?
Whereabouts are we headed?
We haven't
Well, like
decided yet.
I just said, we're planning. Yeah, so
Okay.
I mean, we've got this meeting, and then the tower is like something. But other than that,
Should I just say up country? Be vague. Just say up country.
Well, I could use a man to head to Lone Hill if you've been around there a time or two.
fucking center of the universe is Lone Hill.
Or I could use someone to go to Inksworth for me too.
We've not been to Inksworth yet, have we? No. Anyone fancy a trip to Inksworth?
We're not there to discuss it.
Where is the map? Sorry, I don't have it up.
Yeah.
I can stick you on the map for a brief second on the thing.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
So Inksworth is fairly close to the capital. Lone Hill is sort of like a bit of a triangle.
Let's say we'll head to Inksworth initially and see how you.
I'm guessing the tower's just north of that.
Yeah,
Tower's up here,
It's
isn't it?
up near this sort of lake.
the tower is on top of this sort of lake here.
Okay.
Well, if I say to him, then I can take. I'm heading to Inksworth, or I'm going by Inksworth.
Going by Inksworth, you say. Excellent. Would you be able to deliver an item for me? It's not very big. You should be able to conceal it fairly well. Not that it necessarily might need concealing, mind you, but just in case of prying eyes, should we say?
I understand the need for subtlety. That's one thing that my friends and colleagues would say about me, is that I'm very subtle.
Excellent, sir.
But is that why you didn't bring us?
It's like lying in an interview. You just hope they don't ask for a reference.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment then, sir. And he turns around and reaches into this sort of big duffel bag. Inside the duffel bag, you see he has a lot of variety of lots and lots of different items. And eventually he pulls out this small sort of, almost like a purse, almost like, you know, the kind of purse that, like girls take to like nights out and stuff, that sort of small, I think like that big sort of leather, just like standard. Yeah, like a clutch, like a little leather clutch, with a little golden button on it. And he just sort of hands it to you. It doesn't have a strap or anything like that. It is just that. And he sort of hands that over to you. It's got some fairly nice sort of embroidering around it, but it's clearly quite old. So a lot of that sort of worn off and thinged off with wear and tear. You're like, could you deliver this to a man in Inksworth? His name is. Ben needs to look up his big list of names.
Ben's big list of names.
This is James.
Jeremy.
Ben's bits. His name is Jonathan. His name is Jonathan White. You will find him in the market district. He runs a stall there. He will know what the item is about. We have discussed this prior, and he knows the package is coming at some point or another. I can pay you half now, and he will pay you half once the item is delivered.
That is agreeable.
Even know what he's paying you.
Would 50 gold suffice, maybe?
What's the risk to my person if this were to be found?
You tell me. It's a small clutch bag. I mean, is that really something to be worried about? I thought you were a professional. Thought this would be easy work for you.
What about 60?
55, no more.
Deal.
55 it is. Would you like anything from my store? I have a variety of things in here for a gentleman such as yourself.
What you got?
A variety of different items and things. What exactly are you in the market for?
Unless you got a bigger boat in there, I don't think you can help me out today. Actually,
unfortunately, I'm not that kind of trader, and I don't think I could fit a bigger boat inside this. I see what you did there. You made a joke. Unfortunately, that might conclude our business. He knows. Again, I know he knows the package is coming. Jonathan White. Good doing
I
business
shall
with
get
you.
it to him.
Excellent.
It's a pleasure.
And he hands you the gold and ushers you away.
Okay, lovely. I guess I'll zip back now to the rest of the group.
Excellent.
That's definitely not going to bite us in the arse later, is it?
Listen, I spent 125 gold on a bloody vase and some flowers. I need to recoup.
I just want to make sure, just for Oramis' sake, was that 55 from each person from when you start and
that's
and
half
the
from
delivery?
him now and half from him
Right,
later.
so 55 in total. That's just
No, it's 55 now, 55 later, right?
Yeah, 55 now, then the guy will pay 55 later on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
so you're pretty much recouping what you paid for the bait.
So, what would you guys like to do now? You have arrived back with each other. It's probably around like 11, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock now.
Can I have? No, we don't need to RP this, but can you just say like Doc went and had a nice conversation with Hammer?
Yeah, of course.
So with his hammer or with?
Gylndan had a nice little, conversation with Hammer. He's quite glad to see you. Quite eager to get back onto the conversation about a golden coat, that's literally made of gold. He's been he'll tell you he's been thinking about that literally all day, and it's been all this on his mind of how you could do that. He's even come up with some plan. And he goes on sort of about that stuff. We don't need to RP that if you don't want to, of course.
I would happily sit here and
as we got about 5 minutes left,
what are your build a coat out of gold. However, I feel like that would take up the rest of the session and then some if I got to. And the others
possibly
aren't as interested. So let's.
So
just
what are
pretend
you
it's
guys?
happened.
Exactly. What is you guys' plan now? What is your plan now and beyond? I guess.
So I don't think so. Mazzy and I are probably just chatting about what we're going to say to Ivan, and then obviously the Doc and Oramis will just come back in, join the conversation.
Yeah.
Just sort of say what our, I think where we're going to go from here. We're not. I don't think we're there on the tower yet. We're not strong enough to do that. I don't think.
So I was going to say to Mazzy, you mentioned Daviak was a general. Given that you're twins, how would you feel about impersonating him if we needed to get some more information out of someone?
I can try. I mean,
where's he
I just
supposed
need
to be?
put a scar across my face. People don't know about the burn yet. Or how well known would that be? Give me a bit of face paint, we'll be fine.
Where is Daviak supposed to be?
Daviak right now is in the north, fighting back for Northgard.
Okay.
Just in case we need to get some more information out of someone, use Mazzy's resemblance.
Yeah, good work.
I do indeed look like my brother.
Indeed. Yeah. So what's your plan, sort of going forward then? You're obviously going to talk to Count Ivan.
I do. It depends what he has to say.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't got any massive leads other than the tower.
We need more men at the tower, I think, because they got wiped out. Not wiped out, but like the battalion they sent in, whatever it was, a small squad.
It did not survive.
Well, it was like,
that is because they weren't the Guardians.
Yeah.
No, but still, I think we need, because is it like spawning stuff, the tower, or is it just sort of stationary?
It's, what do you mean, like
so like in Fortnite, for that Halloween event where it was just spawning creatures that were then just terrorizing stuff.
So you guys know that. So along the top of the tower, creatures are spawning, and on the bottom, creatures are spawning from the bottom in sort of black puffs of smoke to go out and I guess just cause havoc. You don't know what.
Yeah, so are they terrorizing towns and stuff?
Yeah, you might have heard. A thing or two walking around the capital that this person's my farm's been destroyed by one of them beasts, or you might have heard like a couple of mentions of like a couple of jobs going maybe for some people to track down some things or some stuff like that. Maybe some of the guards talking about that.
Wherever we head next, I wouldn't mind earning a few coins along the way.
Yeah. Again, since
is Oramis going to share?
It depends.
I mean,
how this job goes.
I mean, kind of slightly outdated. What does Oramis say about this job when he comes back? Because if we're like, let's go to Calci or whatever instead of Inksworth.
Just that I got a job and that we should head over to Inksworth to meet a man.
Did you find out how the time frame that you had to deliver this? I'll
tell you what I'll do.
Could we go there later?
To convince you guys to get on board with this, I'll tell you that we're being paid 10 gold each on delivery of the package.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
I won't tell him how much I'm getting paid.
Not as much as you hand up 30 gold.
Yeah. Still,
yeah,
70.
I'll take it.
70 gold.
So that, I think because the tower's spawning stuff, I think kind of need the army to not be occupied up north with that war anymore. And I don't know if that's how we pitch it to Councilman Ivan. So I think our next destination might be to move up north, unless we want to tackle the tower ourselves now. But I don't think we'll do very well. We need an army at our back to do that. And obviously, Mazzy's brother is a high-ranking general, so
is indeed.
That's how I see it going. I don't know what else there is to do, really.
Yeah, we want to try and end this war in the north so we can have some backup.
Yeah, just free everything up.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Would you therefore think that, depending on obviously what Councilman Ivan says, would you therefore think that might be your next destination then, is heading north up to Northgard and seeing how you can help?
Northgard way,
Yeah, I mean, I think
I was kind of hoping you said that.
If we turn up as just like 4 extra soldiers, it's not going to achieve much. We potentially need to try and figure out and then cut off the head of the snake here.
Or we could go, we've got options. We could go speak to Albus and see if he could help us in some way or something like that,
Yeah.
We do have options.
If we're going north, should probably actually pick up Hakoda at some point to talk to the goblins and stuff, as he's the orcs and stuff. As he's a half orc.
You're bringing him as a translator.
Yeah, because Mazzy was really good at it last time.
Also, like one thing obviously I will say is that obviously you guys head north to thing. Dabiak is there. The one of the generals of the army is up there.
That's
obviously,
true.
You wouldn't necessarily be walking in as just 4 soldiers. You know the general.
We can maybe get a bit more info and stuff. But what I'm saying,
Giri, Nevado, and Mittens.
Yeah, they're also up there.
Some big boys.
Bears as well.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like,
and some bears.
if we're going up there, we should be going up there to look for a fast ending rather than just going up there to help, so to speak.
Yeah.
What rank is Mazzy in the military?
That's a good point.
Because I feel like, considering they're twin brothers with pretty much identical sort of stats.
Yeah, but I left.
Mazzy's kind of underachieving.
I left before I got the chance to get as high as he did, so I don't know. Didn't really think about this.
I think it'd probably be the case where, like, now if you were to join, you would sort of join as probably like you can assume you'd probably join as like a captain, given your brother's sort of.
I mean, they must take into account
your twin brother. Yeah, your twin brother can sort of commend you and say, yeah, he's as good as me. We can just like shove him up to captain or whatever instantly. I guess if you were to join, you'd probably join the sort of Nevado, Giri, and Mittens sort of team back again. I guess that's because they're still, as far as you know, they're still sort of performing certain operations. Certain operations, not necessarily in the north, but against the orcs that are residing in Northgard.
I could quite possibly get my crew back together.
I'm getting the band back together, boys.
Getting the bears back together.
Hey.
I'd like to see Tim deal with 4 bears, Ben.
Never be able to cope.
4 whole bears.
If we fought something with all of those characters, so we'd have a powerful healer. Mazzy's just fucking dominant on every sort of attack roll. Oramis, who can do like sneak attack and everything. I can do fireball. Giri's a bit of a monster. Nevado's got bears, and then Mittens is a really good support class. So we're just dominating anything we fight.
I mean, yeah, you sort of have all the sort of bases covered. I think in terms of
we don't have any
what
clear
you would
tank. Other than
Giri's a tank.
Maybe Giri.
I mean, yeah.
Giri is a tank. If I got
a tank.
Giri did like 40 on attack or something. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Giri sort of fucked some people up north. It was quite
do
cool.
with a slightly higher AC, but if Ben plays it right, AC doesn't really matter.
AC matters more in martial combat than like magical combat.
Spells and stuff.
It doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter at all in some spell combat when you start putting saves in there.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like a powerful wizard, everything can just be saves, and then your AC means nothing.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Also, we have so much healing with that whole combined squad.
Yeah, that squad was quite good. That was better for healing, wasn't it? It was more spread. Whereas the one we've got for the main one is, well, Mazzy can heal.
I mean, I don't heal a lot, I heal.
Okay, yeah, just sort of thinking for what I have to plan ahead for. So I guess you'll speak to Count Minovan.
Yeah.
And depending on what he says, what happens, or anything, you are probably thinking to. Obviously, you don't have to. You can change your mind, but you are probably thinking to head on a bit of a trek to head north.
Yeah.
To Northgard to see what's going on there. Oh,
I'd like to stop in Lone Hill, but I don't know if it makes more sense to go to Inksworth for Luke's job and then actually to sail up the coast. But I would certainly be faster with it.
That would.
Any chance to get on the water?
I mean, when you think, obviously, in your way from the capital to Northgard is are forest, hills, rivers, hills, forest, lots more rivers and marshland, bit of an open stretch, and then a couple more rivers to Northgard. There's a lot there, and that'll be a lot of days of walking. Whereas obviously, getting on a boat, there's just boat.
Sightseeing, just none of that. Straight in. Love it.
Obviously, you can get to Inksworth
by boat and get upstream.
Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah, we can get
these
we can get
rivers
there
you
by
could sort
boat.
of head up to. It would probably take like a day out of your journey to sort of navigate that river, and then a day to get back, and then however many days it is to get to Northgard. But it's always possible.
I might have to leave a lump sum for keeping Chikara in the stables.
Maybe.
See what Councilman Ivan can do.
Keep it on credit.
Yeah.
Pay it when you come back, and if you never come back, then you don't have to pay. Although if you want your elephant back, then
I do want my elephant back. Fucking boss. That's your tank, JJ. Chikara.
yeah, that's true.
That's what the war needs, an elephant.
I think Ben was quite adamant that Chikara does not fit on Luke's tiny boat.
Yes, Chikara very much does not fit on Luke's tiny
Can we
boat.
build a raft that could be towed?
I like your thinking.
I don't want to do that.
You could. I think you could, but I don't think the, let's face it, fairly small sail that Luke's boat has would be able to pull
Yeah, I was
that
thinking
raft
Yeah,
along.
no,
Like,
I'm not really suggesting
Like-
that we tow an elephant.
oh,
Why not?
Chikara took a shit. There's too much weight. Now it's sinking.
That doesn't increase the weight.
But it redistributes it.
does
It redistributes the weight. That's the point. And as it sort of hits the raft, it just straight through.
Oh no, Chikara's fallen off. Got to build a new raft.
Can we just leave it? It's much safer.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, there's your plan, Ben.
All right, cool. I was kind of hoping you'd say that because I have a very cool idea of how to handle all the characters. Yeah. All right. Well, we can call it there. Thank you all very much. We'll pick up next session with you guys going to the capital, and then you guys going to the castle to talk to Councilman Ivan, and I guess head on to Inksworth.